also
you're cool with
specifically
voting for a racist? Is what
both
you're
Trump
saying?
and Biden are racist. I've already clarified that a million times. Okay?
Sorry, I don't watch all
Here
your
and I'm
videos,
willing to
but like,
acknowledge I'm sitting here and I'm willing to acknowledge the bad shit on both sides and say there is a better of the two candidates. Okay? I'm not saying I
that's
like
fair.
Joe
You know what?
Biden. I'm saying he's
I
a
respect
better
that.
he's
I
less
respect
shitty than the other side.
if you think it's cool, you're okay with voting for a racist. You know what? Like that's on you. Like if
They're
you're cool
both
with standing by
racist.
that,
You can't get around that.
gotcha.
That's not a relevant
If you want
difference.
to vote for racist, that's fine. I won't. I will not vote for racist.
So again, both sides, right, are racist, right? One president is going to be in the office regardless of the scenario. One leads to significantly worse outcomes for people comparative to the other, although both of them are bad people. Would you rather have, if you had to eat if you had to eat a plate, would you rather have a plate of shit or two plates of shit? You have to eat the whole plate.
One plate of shit, Parker.
Obviously, you don't want the plate of shit. The plate of shit is not good, right? But it's better than two plates of shit.
Okay,
Okay.
I just don't think it's crazy for young people wanting neither of those bad options, right? A
I don't think
racist and
it's
a
crazy
double
either.
racist.
I get
Okay,
you. I
and so
understand. But what you're doing is impractical. Okay. I totally get it.
but I'm willing to concede that voting for a third party in this
You're cutting
2024
out.
election is probably you're throwing it away, right? You're throwing away an election, whatever. You're throwing your vote away. I
Yo,
think
for the
that
person who thinks I'm an actor in the comment section, DEG, get enough followers, send a guest request. I'd love to talk to you about it. You can continue.
yeah, no problem. I think it's silly to kind of say like it's pointless to vote for a third candidate because, like I said before, I want to see over time
Can I also address
momentum
this? For
build in
someone
that
saying that I
direction.
think racism is okay, no. I clearly said that I think that's bad. I clearly am against it, right? I think everyone should be anti-racist. What I'm saying is that both sides, I think, are racist. And I have to acknowledge that, again, just describing one side as racist isn't going to provide a relevant difference to vote for one over the other. And there's significant other things like abortion rights in this country, like someone undermining American elections, like giving money to rich people at the expense of poor people in this country, the rhetoric as it relates to the context of immigration, saying that immigrants are poisoning the blood of this country, right? Plenty of things that are significantly worse on the side of Trump, okay? Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking about?
sure. No, 100%. And Biden and Trump alike, they both pressured Julian Assange and pressure WikiLeaks and are behind that whole persecution. So, like, as you are someone who's in this space, you're trying to become maybe a journalist or in the media space, that should be an issue on your forefront. Um, but I think it's possible for us to have these like productive chats and disagree without getting to a place of animosity. And I think that's something you're pretty good at. And I mean, I'll hop off here and say like we agree to disagree on some stuff, but yeah, I mean,
Wait, no. So again, why don't you want to vote given that you acknowledge that Biden's better?
no, I fully plan on voting. I think there is a third
And you're
option
going to
that's
vote
better
for
than both of
Biden?
them. No,
You know that's not going to happen, right? Andrea, thank you so much for the $10 on Cash App. Thank you so much.
I'm
The
a,
party isn't
I
going to do anything for anyone. Okay, I
okay,
understand
so
what you want to
I've
do, but
come
he's
to
not
that.
helping anyone.
I don't disagree.
Okay, if you think he's not helping anyone by
Refuse to vote
voting
for
that way,
evil.
why would you do
I
it?
refuse to vote for evil. How about that? Can you
Don't you
understand that?
consider RFK evil? He has
Evil? I
unequivocal
don't think he's
support for
evil.
Israel. Do you
I think he
consider
can
that
be
evil?
wrong about stuff, but
He has
I wouldn't
unequivocal.
say he's evil.
Okay, so he has support for Israel that's committing genocide in Gaza. Do you not think that's evil?
I've seen him advocate for a two-party solution. He's not as radical as a lot of the other options.
Is he supporting Israel in the genocide?
I haven't gone that deep into his, but I know he supports a two-state solution. I know for a fact.
Okay, so does Joe Biden.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's a step in the right direction.
Okay, that doesn't answer any of my questions.
I kind of want to I kind of want to just wrap it up and say like we agreed to disagree on some of this stuff, but I do think it's a good sign that more and more people want to vote
To be
third
totally
party.
honest, you're not doing anything though. Okay, when you're voting for third parties, I
I just
understand you
disagree.
don't want to vote
I
for
just
someone who's
disagree.
evil. All of these options are evil people. Okay,
I think like that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy to keep saying you only have these two options. You only have these two options.
Appreciate the
You just
dinosaur. Thank you so
admitted
much,
both
Jack. I
of them
appreciate
are
it.
racist.
Yes, under the context of this current system, we only have
So
two
it's a
because of the two-party
self-fulfilling
system.
prophecy.
You need ranked choice voting for there to be third parties that are legitimized in this country. That is just a fact, okay? It's not a self-fulfilling prophecy if you just acknowledge the political history, okay?
My AirPods just died, so I'm gonna have to hop off the audio. I hope you can still hear me. Are you good?
Yeah, it's honestly better.
Oh, my bad. All right. Well, yeah, like I said, I just
Georgia
disagree
Gal,
that
thank you
it's
so much for
pointless.
meteor shower. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you get back to talking to Trump voters.
All right.
I hope you can sway some, but
Sure. All right, only set a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. I appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you so much. All right, let's get this next person, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
24.
For sure, are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Yes.
And why is that?
And there's a big reason. So basically, the reason why I'm voting for Trump for 2024 is that to change like the transgender view. So like it's between Biden and Trump. Biden has idolized way more the transgender people, as much even for little kids than it is for Donald Trump. So we didn't know anyways. So what Trump will do in 2024 is that he will just destroy whatever's like transgender, like to like illegalize the use of hormones and hormone blockers. So like kids under the age of 18 or whoever.
And for adults.
Yeah, and for adults too.
Yeah, so adults shouldn't be able to get access to gender affirming care? That's anti-freedom, okay? That is absolutely anti-freedom.
Well,
Unequivocally, okay? So you're arguing against people's freedoms to self-express.
well, I'm arguing because there's only two genders, bro.
Okay, trans
guess-
people aren't even arguing more than two genders, okay?
Really?
Do you believe in the Christian God?
I believe in God. I believe in the God, like God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
Okay, so God the Father prior to incarnation, prior to Jesus existing, does he have any biology? Does he have any chromosomes, any gametes, any genitalia?
But it doesn't matter. Like all
But yet you still respect his gender identity, that he's a man, that he's a father, and you still respect his pronouns, that he's he, him, okay?
is the Alpha and Omega.
Answer the question, right? Do you respect his gender identity and his pronouns?
What I'm saying is that he's the King of all kings, and
You respect his gender identity and his pronouns.
saying that he's the King of all kings, so you should respect him, bro. So
Hey,
let's get back to the question.
do you think you should respect his gender identity and pronouns, even though he doesn't have respective biology, chromosomes, or genitalia?
All I'm saying is that I respect God as the Alpha and Omega, our Father.
He
our
can't answer
Father,
it.
Our Father, your Father, my Father,
Daily, I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much, Daily.
everybody's Father, bro. So I'm saying that. Let's get back to the question.
Yeah, and he doesn't
So
have
the reason
gametes, he
why
doesn't
I-
have chromosomes, and he doesn't have genitalia, and he doesn't have any of those things, yet you still respect his gender identity and his
Well, why are we
pronouns.
going to the
So why
Bible?
accept God's gender identity and pronouns, but not trans people?
He doesn't respect to the fact that you can't even change your own gender. You're still a man. I'm still a
Answer
man.
the question. Answer the question. Why do you respect God's gender identity and pronouns, but you don't respect trans people's?
I respect gender identity to God because he's a man. He's the king. He's the man's.
Yeah, and can't you say that for a trans
He's the
man?
man.
Can't you say that for a trans man? What a king.
That's
He's
a woman.
king.
The trans
No,
man.
he's not.
A trans
Okay,
man is a
okay,
woman.
well then God's a woman.
No, he's not. You
Yes,
can't
she
even say
is.
that.
Yes, she is.
So you're just disrespecting God in any way because you're
Yeah,
just saying that.
the mother says
though
that
he's
you need
the
to start calling
father,
her the mother. Why do you think it's
father.
Mother Nature, buddy?
Whatever.
So respect the mother. Okay? the daughter, the mother, and the Holy Spirit, okay?
You just trigger so many people to the
God's a
fact
woman.
that they're just literally coming to the point where.
Oh, you're triggered by that? You're triggered by that, buddy?
No, I'm not triggered.
So
I'm
you
sorry that some
think
of the
it's
comments-
respectable to disrespect trans people's gender identity and pronouns, but when I disrespect God's gender identity and pronouns, then it's not a fucking issue.
You know what? I'm just saying that everybody's freedom is that they can't be. They have to be. Man is man and woman is woman. And
Justin,
whatever
thank you for the
you're born with-
$6.66. Thank you so much, Justin.
Why does Biden have to disrespect so many people in that way? That you can't even celebrate the resurrection of Jesus.
It's not disrespecting people to have a trans visibility day.
You can't
Come
even
on, get a
respect
fucking
to the
grip,
point-
dude.
He can't even respect Jesus. He can't even celebrate the
Respect
resurrection
Jesus?
of our Lord and
Respect
Savior.
Jesus? He's literally Catholic and goes to church. Trump doesn't even fucking go to church every week. What are you
Buys a lot.
talking
He
about?
goes to the Bohemian Grove. You know what the Bohemian Grove
Wait,
is?
when did Biden go to Bohemian Grove?
He goes there all the time. Like he does rituals.
give me
You know how
evidence?
he has to do some rituals with other
Give me
elites?
evidence that Biden has gone to Bohemian Grove.
Well, you have to go to Ryan Garcia first.
Of course. Okay, can you give me any evidence that Biden has gone there?
Yes, he did. Yeah, in California, what he does with his other elites, they go to the Bohemian Grove.
Can you give me evidence that they did?
Whatever games they have, they do some rituals.
Hey, Omega, can you give me evidence that he went to Bohemian Grove?
There was a giant owl that they worship as their type
Can you
of
give
god.
me evidence that Joe Biden went to Bohemian Grove?
As their type of god, and then they literally.
I saw Ryan
sacrifice-
Garcia said it. He said
like how Carthaginians sacrificed their kids to Baal.
Stop describing
who's
to me the
basically god of
process and give me the
fertility.
evidence.
He basically does sacrifices to other little.
Hey, I'm not asking you to give me a description of what's happening. I'm asking you to give me the fucking evidence, my guy. Right? So if you're not going to give me the fucking evidence, right? I'm not going to let you take me up to the Appalachian Mountains. Okay? So we're gonna wait for you to give me the evidence.
I just did, sir. I just said.
Nope, no evidence. Give it to
I
me.
just said it in front of you with my own mouth. I just said it. Like I said, Bohemian Grove. They take little kids and they basically
You're
just
describing the
sacrifice them in
process.
front of
Appreciate the
so many
sunglasses. Thank you so
people.
much.
And I'm saying this in public, so I wouldn't even get my own self canceled because I have to tell the truth. I'm saying the truth.
Hey, you're not answering my question. I'm not asking of
I
how
did answer your question. What are you talking
Hey. I'm not asking how the process works. I'm asking for the evidence.
XX. All I'm saying is XX for woman, XY for man. And what I'm saying is Trump can literally.
Okay, well,
make
does
this
God have
white-
XY chromosomes?
XY chromosomes. Yeah, I have XY chromosomes.
Does God have XY chromosomes?
He does, and he's the alpha omega.
Does the Father have
and-
XY chromosomes?
Because they. I just said I just answered that long time ago.
No, the Father doesn't have XY chromosomes. Yeah, he's still a man.
So you're just basically to the point where you want to gaslight to the point
I'm not
where
gaslighting shit. I'm just showing you how your fucking ideology makes no sense. Your whole reason
My
for voting for a
ideology
proven
makes
sexual
sense.
abuser
I
or a
just
proven
said-
fraudster and election
I just
denier
said it.
is because you don't like trans
Oh.
people. And because
Oh,
you
really?
don't like trans people, that's what
I
you're
didn't
voting on.
say I like
And I
trans
showed
people.
you
I
how
said
your
that
own
trans people
ideology
should stay.
and your own religious beliefs actually get you committed towards believing trans identity is valid.
Trans people.
Okay, I'm going to finish what I'm saying and you're not understanding. okay? Your ideology commits you to believing trans identity is valid, okay? Because God has pronouns and has gender identity without gametes, without chromosomes, and without particular fucking genitalia, okay?
Yeah, just like how
You
Joe
are
Biden.
committed to believing trans people are valid.
Just like how Joe Biden sniffs people's hair in camera.
I like
Hold
how
on,
you're
no.
pivoting and not acknowledging that you need to accept trans people, buddy.
Here's how Joe Biden acts. Joe Biden
Accept
acts
trans people. Accept trans people.
Joe Biden acts like a little nitwit, where he basically
What'd you
goes
say?
on.
Wait, what'd you just say?
Joe Biden acts like a nitwit.
What'd you
I
just
said
say?
that. He literally look how his memory works. He basically
No,
just
say what you
goes
just
out
said.
in public,
Omega,
and
Omega,
when
what'd
he
you just say?
leaves, He basically just losses on
What
my.
did he? Yo, stop. What'd you just say?
Do you want me to turn on my camera and see how he acts?
Can you
I
tell me
bet-
what you just said? Tell me what you just said.
I'm gonna bet you to the point.
What does he
where
act like? What did you just say?
Let me turn on my camera and I'll show you how he acts. How he
Can
acts.
you just tell me what you said?
I just said that what I said to the public.
Can you tell me what you said? If you can't tell me, I'm going to go to the next person.
He said he's an nitwit.
A what?
An nitwit. He is. He literally is.
I can't hear what you're saying.
An nitwit.
A what?
An nitwit. I just said it in front of your face.
I don't know what you're saying.
Yes, you did. A nitwit. I just said that. You didn't even hear me. Nitwit. He
Oh, wait,
is
okay.
very mindless. Like literally.
Okay, I thought you were.
He
I
really
thought you were,
watched
I
to
thought you
every
were
bite
saying.
of
I thought you were saying a slur. So like I don't know what you were saying.
What I'm saying is that he's basically to the point where his memory's lost so much that. Do you want me to turn on my camera so I can show you how he acts like when he leaves? Like when he leaves the podium. Trump has literally mocked him too. I want to mock him too. I want to show you how I mocked Biden.
Yeah. So you're just gonna make fun of his stutter? Is that it?
I'm not gonna make it sorry. I'm just gonna make fun to the point where he actually.
Well, you got flagged for hate speech, so I have to go into the next person. Let's go to the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. We are just looking for some debates. Keep tapping that screen, everyone. Let's run it up to 100,000, 250,000 likes, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello.
Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, for sure. I am just looking for people who will vote for Trump in 2024.
I'm 64.
Appreciate you coming up, though. Appreciate you coming up. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
41.
For sure. Will you vote for Trump in 2024?
Yes, sir.
Why so?
First of all, I enjoy your show, man. You do a really good job. So basically economic reasons, border reasons, and we'll start there.
Okay, so what economic reasons and what border reasons?
Well, absolutely working to quit sending so much money to places that aren't needed. We could have built a border wall 60 some times with the money that's been sent.
You mean it's like Ukraine? So if you want to talk about that, do you know what the Budapest Memorandum is?
No, sir.
So it was specifically like a deal that we signed with Ukraine that if they gave up their nuclear weapons, that we would defend them. So they gave up their nuclear weapons, and now it's our turn to defend them. And if we don't hold up this particular deal as it relates to the context of nuclear weapons, how can we expect Iran or other countries around the world to accept deals with the United States, right? Given that they have shown that they don't respect them.
Well, this might sound a little off, but nukes quite possibly could be fake. Nobody's ever really seen one. Carpet bombings or what happened.
Nukes are fake? So, like, what about Nagasaki and Hiroshima?
They were carpet bombs.
So you don't believe that Nagasaki and Hiroshima were nuclear weapons? You don't believe that nuclear power plants are using nuclear energy? You don't believe that that there's been any atomic bombs dropped around the entire world, even though there's very clear, sufficient evidence indicating that even the radioactive material from these bombs specifically are even like across the entire world, right? So, I mean, we can literally see very clear evidence that nuclear weapons are being used.
Well, I understand that there's nuclear power, absolutely, but
what does nuclear power come from?
From fusion.
No, fission. It comes from the same sort of material and whatnot that we would use for nuclear weapons, right? It's just the reason why it can't be necessarily very easily like recreated if it were to be through the context of these nuclear power plants is because it's extremely hard to isolate these particular types of things.
Well, I mean, so if they're so dangerous that they can't be used near people during testing, of course they...
Well, you have to do specific types of regulations.
Well, yeah, well, so all the evidence of the testing is from an inside source, not an outside source.
What do you mean?
See, well, you have to believe the government to see the testing.
So are you saying that all the informations we have as it relates to the context of studies are wrong?
Studies can be doctored.
Okay, so what studies were doctored and how do you know they were doctored?
I don't have evidence of any of this.
So are you just assuming that these studies are doctored?
I'm not the one to go down the path, so to say, on this. I've just watched a few things, I've heard a few things, and I just use my own intelligence as far as, what I can see with my own eyes and what I can relate. And basically,
what about the videos of nuclear testing?
okay, which video would you be speaking of? Because if you're talking about the one where they got the camera and the whole city blows over, well, what happened to the camera? Why is it still there? And in that video, right before the blast, a car actually shows up a frame or two before the house blows over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the specific one that you're referencing, but I am very sure there are particular, I appreciate the little ground, thank you so much, particular types of things where they have tested and even videoed nuclear test results or nuclear tests and stuff like that. So I think there's plenty of evidence that this is the case.
And stuff like that. So I think there's plenty of evidence.
Hold on. You have to swipe out of the app and then swipe back in, man. But yeah, tap that screen, everyone. So we're up to 250,000 likes, everyone.
But yeah, tap that screen, everyone. So we're up to 250,000 likes, everyone.
Hey, man, I just told you to swipe out of the app. I just told you to swipe out of the app, swipe back in, man. All right. You should be able to unmute yourself now. I can't unmute you because I just mute. Or actually, I can't unmute you. There you go.
All right, sorry about that, man. I got an appointment that I got to go to, but I appreciate you having me on. I wish I could have been on a little longer.
For sure. All right, we'll go to the next person. Appreciate you coming up. All right, let's go to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. We are simply just looking for some debates, y'all.
Hey,
How old are you?
I'm four.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Yes.
Why so?
Me personally, it's just that I feel that we need a strong America. It's as simple as that for me.
And what makes you think specifically that Trump brings a strong America?
Well, it's like, does Biden make us strong? And it's like, no, obviously not. But Trump,
Does Trump make us strong?
We were.
Can you give me evidence that Trump makes us strong?
No new wars during his presidency.
What do you mean by new war?
There was no new war started. It's like everybody was at bay.
Can you just define war for me?
A new war would be something popping up all of a sudden, like what happened in the
I'm not asking for an
attacking
example. I'm
Israel.
asking for a definition.
I don't have a dictionary with me to give you that. Well, what's your definition?
So, wait, so you don't have a definition?
Do you have a definition? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I would typically just relate to like an armed conflict between two countries, right? And Trump has increased armed conflict in the region, right? Specifically, he has increased armed conflict in the Middle East, 450% increase in military drone strikes, right? Trump also backed a Saudi blockade that starved Yemeni children. He also engaged in a proxy war in the context of Syria against Russia. So, like, there's been plenty of things that Trump was involved in worldwide.
Do you think so you won't vote for Trump?
No.
Is there a way we can change your mind?
Huh?
Is there anything that can change your mind?
Yeah, good reason, but I doubt there's any good reason to indicate that I should.
He's for you. He's for all of us. Biden's only for like
Can you give me one policy that Trump helped pass that benefited the middle class?
Don't you feel safer with Trump in office?
Can you name one policy that Trump helped pass that benefited the middle class?
I mean, I wasn't really into politics until not too long ago.
No, you can't name a single one.
I can't name anything Biden did either. So it's like they're.
So then you're just an uninformed voter.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with Trump.
Yeah, so why? Because you have no reason, it seems. You can't name a single policy he did to benefit people.
He's more for America, all of us, you, me included.
Yeah, and how do you know that if you don't know any of his policies?
But Biden is more for the border. That's a big thing. I like the wall being constructed. That was a good idea, but they said no. But he's for us. Biden is for illegals, and he's for the LBGP people. Whatever it's called.
LGBTQ. So
Yeah.
he should be for LGBTQ people. And how is he for undocumented immigrants? What do you mean by that? He's removed 3.5 times as many people from the country as the Trump administration.
Illegal immigrants.
Yeah, we're talking undocumented immigrants.
Yeah, so they're just flowing over the border like it's water, like it's free for all.
Nah. Could you give me any evidence specifically to indicate that it's because of Biden's?
Yes, New York is being overrun.
Could you give me any
You got
evidence to
Chicago.
indicate that it's because of Biden's border policy?
Yeah, he said, come.
What border policy specifically caused this?
The lack of a policy caused it.
Okay, what was the difference in policies from the Obama administration to the Biden administration? That means that it wasn't happening then, but it is happening now.
Um, the Obama administration. That's another one. But I looked into that one in a bit because I was comparing it, and I did see that he did deport a lot. So this border crisis wasn't a crisis then, but Trump was going to fix it to where it won't be a crisis at all. And then all of a sudden Biden comes in, and bam, we got crisis.
Yeah. So again, what policy specifically caused this? Because it just sounds environmental.
It sounds like a lack thereof a policy.
Again, if it's a lack of a policy, well, then how is there a difference between the Obama administration and the Biden administration to then mean it would happen now? Seems like the policy is not even different.
I'm sorry, man. Just Trump's is way better for us, for you and me.
And you can't even give me any reason.
You don't need a reason.
You don't need a reason? Okay, well, then Trump's worse for us.
No, I can't say that.
Yeah, I can. He's a proven sexual abuser, proven fraudster. He sent 83% of his taxes to the top 1% people who make over $500,000 a year, and it decreased after-tax income for the middle class, the lowest quintile, increased it for the highest quintile, the top 1%, and the top 0.1%. Okay? So that is terrible policy. What's that?
I think Biden is a pervert.
Well, I can actually prove that Trump is. Trump's a proven sexual abuser. Trump has literally claimed that it was justified for him to walk into changing rooms of little girls because it is the case that he owns the place. He said that he would date his daughter if she wasn't his daughter. I can show you a video right now of Trump specifically saying that he'll be dating a 10-year-old in 10 years. Are you going to hear it?
No, that don't make
You don't want to
sense.
hear it? Well, too bad. You're going to hear it anyway.
I think that's AI.
It's not. It's not AI.
It's AI.
When you say it's
Yeah,
AI, that
that's
just means
okay.
that you're not willing to accept reality at this point.
Trump 2024, man.
I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
Fucking 10-year-old, dude.
Trump 2024, man.
Yeah, you're disgusting. How can you hear that and be like, Trump 2024?
I don't believe it.
Yeah, because you're literally delusional. He said so many lies that you don't even know what's lie and what's not anymore.
I feel safer with Trump. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
you feel safer with fascists, right? You feel safer with people
No.
who... Yeah,
Biden's more fascist.
Wait, actually, if you look at the 14 points of fascism, Trump basically runs off every one. So if you're going to consider, like, how many points do you have to hit to be considered a fascist, right? Trump is going to hit those points.
Well, Trump isn't eliminating his opposition from elections.
Who is?
Biden is.
It's not Biden specifically, and Trump's denying the results of a fair and democratic election, right? Do you want to go through the 14 points of fascism? I promise you more are applicable to Trump than are to Biden.
I think they are more applicable to the entire Democratic Party.
You want to bet?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over them right now.
I gotta go soon.
Well, you can hear me do it. 14 points of fascism. Fascism. All right, let's pull this up. All right. Right here. Number 1, powerful and continuing nationalism. Oh, that's applicable to Trump. Make America great again. The notion to be super patriotic, making it illegal to burn the American flag, right? Patriotic
thing.
mottos, slogans, symbols, songs, flags, right? 2, disregard for human rights, right? We could say this in the context of him trying to get rid of women's access to abortion. We could say this as it relates to the context of death penalty for being a drug dealer. We could say this as it
That's
relates.
good.
It also says approval of executions, which is
I agree with everything that's on
literally
there.
death
Yes.
penalty. 4% of people on death row are innocent.
Yes.
Right. He's
Yes.
also has a disregard for Muslims. Right. He's called for a complete and total shutdown of Muslims entering this country. That's disregard for
a
human
time
rights.
period, yes.
Identification of enemies as a unifying cause. Oh, okay. What one can we apply for this? Immigrants,
Yes.
socialists, communists.
I agree
right?
with everything.
Okay,
that's
so
on there.
all
That's why-
3 of those are
listen,
applicable to Trump
you're not
so
making
far.
a case against them.
Supremacy of the military. Trump
Yes.
advocates for supremacy of
I
the
love
military.
military.
Widespread sexism, right? Grab them by the P word, right?
He was young.
The
when he said
invoking of traditional gender roles, the notion of being against abortion.
Yes.
You claimed against being
that.
gay.
Yes. Yes.
Controlled mass media, right? I don't know if this would necessarily
I don't
be
like that
applicable
part.
to Trump, but
That's what's going on right now.
Yeah, this. I mean, I don't know if I would apply this to him, but you could say that it's applicable in the context of what he likes to take down on his own sites and whatnot about his behavior and how he is.
All right, I
But
gotta go. But the other things you
obsession with
mentioned are
national
the points
security,
that I support from him.
Trump uses fear as a motivational tool to get people to think that like their elections have been stolen. So that's definitely there. Religion and government intertwined. Trump's definitely advocated for that. Corporate power protected. Trump absolutely supports corporate power. Labor power suppressed. I can show you Trump's anti-union record. He has one of the biggest anti-union records, right? His disrespect for the intellectuals and the arts. He constantly denies climate change. He constantly denies, right, consensus as it relates to science. Obsession with crime and punishment. He constantly references the context of law and order. Rampant cronyism and corruption. There were more people that were indicted under his administration than even Nixon's administration. He specifically even claims that the federally, or actually as it relates to this, the election was stolen from him, but he appointed corrupt judges then that would have stolen the election from him. So he agrees there's corruption that he's implementing. And then fraudulent elections, claiming fraudulent elections. Oh,
Yes,
so let's look at
I
this,
believe it was
right?
too.
Number 1 is applicable to Trump. Number 2 is applicable to Trump. Number 3 is applicable to Trump. Number 4 is applicable to Trump. Number 5 is applicable to Trump. Number 6 is not. Number 7 is applicable to Trump. Number 8 is applicable to Trump. Number 9 is applicable to Trump. Number 10 is applicable to Trump. Number 11 is applicable to Trump. Number 12 is applicable to Trump. Number 14 is applicable to Trump. Number 14 is applicable to Trump. Trump hits 13 of 14 of the points of the 14 points of fascism. Okay,
Most of
and
those-
you were sitting there agreeing with it. So
Yes.
you're agreeing with fascism.
You should too. No, I don't agree with fascism.
So you think you should agree with fascism?
No.
Oh, okay. So you think you should disagree with Trump as it relates to the 13 points that he fulfills of the 14 points of fascism?
I believe when Trump, when he does what he does and says what he says. But I gotta go, okay?
So you just agreed with fascism. You gave me no response and then said you didn't agree with it.
I got to go.
Okay, bud. All right, let's go to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will. Vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. We have like no guest requests. I think we might have the following glitch today, everyone. I don't know. Alrighty. Let's try to get this person up here. Please only send a guest request if you will. Vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. Alright. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Oh, let's try this next person, everyone. Give it 1 second. Let me try this next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey man, I'm old.
Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And why is that?
Well, I feel the economy was better during his time. Even though you'll say, hey, you know, this statistical things, it shows here and then there that, you know, it's better.
Wait, say that one more time. I didn't even catch what you're saying.
I think the economy was much better back then than now. Even though you might say, oh, statistically, this and that shows that it's much better now and than
I don't have to do that. Let's assume that it's worse off now. Okay.
Yeah.
How does that mean that it was caused by Biden?
How it means that it was caused by Biden? Well, for one thing, like I remember during if we look at the inflation, right? You can say, how was it caused by Biden or Democrats? I would look at, I remember like Republicans and Trump, they were cautious at the stimulus. They knew like when you want to print 3 trillion and give it to people, that's just going to cause inflation.
Wait. They don't print. So the Federal Reserve would, and that they would digitally add currency. Okay. So Trump was in office when they approved trillions of dollars in spending too. Hold up. Let me finish. Trump was in office when they approved trillions of dollars in spending as well.
I remember. Yeah, I remember. It was like 2020. And okay, next stimulus, how much are we approving? Trump would push, hey, let's be a little conservative. I mean, if you just recall, the news, right? Republicans and Trump would be like, hey, let's like.
Okay, so then
Democrats
why
would
was
say,
Trump giving
hey,
tax cuts to the rich, increasing the federal deficit from from $450 billion a year to almost $1 trillion pre-COVID?
let me just finish this point that I'm trying to make was that this stimulus, Trump felt like doing the right thing, like, hey, stimulus 3 trillion instead of 3 trillion, let's make it 2 trillion, because it's when you give too much rent forgiveness.
I don't even know if Trump said that, so I'd love to see that.
Trumps and Republicans, I mean, we can look it up. I'm just saying it from my memory. They were pushing more.
And also, right, can you name something bad with the particular like infrastructure, the particular policies they passed, the American Rescue Plan, Build Back Better? These funded American infrastructure. They funded businesses in America. They helped people out who are in need, right? Whereas Trump's tax policy took from the poor and gave to the rich.
If Democrats, they did a lot of people. I live in LA. A lot of people.
I live in Los Angeles too.
Okay, a lot of people that I know, like I'm in a high bracket.
You're cutting out. Hello? You're paused. I cannot hear you. By the way, everyone, tap that screen, share the live,
I know
everyone.
a lot of people that during COVID, like for a year or half a year, didn't pay rent. They could, but it was so easy to just file and then get the grants, and they just avoided paying rent. There was too much stimulus, too much money given without like giving much, consideration, and that's what typically Democrats do. When that happens, what does that result in? It results in inflation, and people like us, who.
Okay, so like if you're saying the spending policies are what caused inflation, why is there global inflation?
Why is there global inflation? I mean, similar thing happened in Europe, in around the world as well.
No, it's mainly related to gas prices. So gas prices increase the prices of commodities worldwide because it relates to the entire point of commodity production. That's why they literally released particularly like reserves from the U.S. into places around the world to decrease global commodity prices. 1, 2.
You're an econ major, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should know. You should. I watch you sometimes. Yeah. If you just print $1 million, and if you give everybody in US $1 million, what do you think will happen?
Well, you can look at stagflation. Stagflation was also related to like global oil prices increasing. So I'd say the oil prices probably have a larger impact on that than like the spending policies.
Oil prices have definitely an impact too, and oil prices were on average during Trump's presidency for those 4 years were, by the way, much better than they're getting better now. But 2 years into I don't know how. Yeah, 2 years into presidency, they're getting better, but they were pretty damn bad for the last 2 years, right? And you would say, how is that Biden's fault? Well, if you're a guy who finds a common language with OPEC, Saudis, and you can make it happen. And as a president of the biggest, like United States, you can probably. It's political too. You can maybe affect oil prices basically, or maybe increase your production.
We increased production in the United States. We have more oil production now than in Trump's administration.
We did? Mm-hmm. Okay.
In the U.S.
Yeah. There's too many things. There's too many things that go into oil prices. For example, you can just if you allow Iran to produce oil, if you don't have a war going on with Russia, and I mean all of those things, they play into like the global
oil prices. But
Yeah, and that would have happened regardless of Trump or Biden in office. So what makes you think specifically
so one
Biden
thing,
is at fault?
one thing I'm saying, I'm a software engineer. During all of Trump's presidency, it was just the big take was hiring. It was just better. Now they're laying off. They're very cautious. That's an indication of a lot worse economy.
Well, that's because they increase interest rates to be able to deal with price stability. So that's again not anything related to Biden
And
specifically.
it's
If you
very
can't give me
related,
something related to Biden specifically,
No,
then
I'm
you're not
saying-
providing a relevant difference between Trump and Biden to say that Trump is a better candidate to vote for.
Okay, so if I think a lot more stimulus was given to people than should have been done, and that causes inflation, and to fight the inflation, the Fed needs to, raise the rates. right?
That's not the main cause or main driver for inflation. I've already gone over with you that it's oil prices. Okay, which is related to things that do not relate to the president. Secondly, Congress is the one literally determining the spending.
Yeah, but the
Right. So president influences it, but the point I would make is that like the point that you would say is different between Trump and Biden, I don't think would have an impact on inflation.
Okay.
Very much.
Second reason. When Trump was running in the first thing, I voted for Hillary. I mean, he seemed like a loose cannon. I was like, if this guy becomes a president, he would, he would probably start World War III. I mean, he left that kind of impression. But now looking back, the world seemed like a lot more stable place than during Biden, right? It's just like the world in the last 2 years seems like on the verge of World War III, like every day kind of thing.
I don't see us to be on the verge of World War III right now.
No?
No, and I mean you could have said the same thing under Trump's administration.
There's a major war going on, Ukraine and Russia, and
That's been like
United
since
States
2014.
2014 there was no active war.
Annexation of Crimea, remember?
Yeah, I remember, but there was no war where United States was.
So there's an invasion, but you can argue war. But I just want to say, like, the point I'm making is that I don't see how this specifically like indicates one is better than the other. All you're just telling me is that there's wars, right? Like, dude, I don't see how this indicates a relevant difference between candidates to say that one candidate would be better than the other.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Talking about the topic of war, I'll tell you how. I think United States was the party. He could have avoided the war, and I think Trump would have averted the war.
What makes you think that?
What makes me think that? Because what happened was Russia was saying, all I wanted from the United States is a promise that, they're not going to admit Ukraine to NATO. United States didn't give that promise. And Russia started this war. And now they're not admitting.
Yeah, so why do they care about Ukraine joining NATO?
Why do they care?
Yeah.
Why does Russia care?
Because then they can't take Ukraine.
Russia cared just like, we cared about Cuba.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious because again, there were already countries on the context of the Russian border that have already been NATO countries since the early 2000s. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania are on the border of.
Yeah. But it's just something this one would have been pushing it overboard.
I don't see how that's pushing it overboard. How is it pushing it overboard?
Because when Russia wanted to put the missiles in Cuba, that was 40 miles away from.
Yeah, that was during the context of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Right? The whole existence, the whole reason NATO exists is to literally stop Russian expansionism. You know that, right?
Russian expansionism.
That is the main reason NATO exists.
Okay. But Russia hasn't been expanding, and NATO has been expanding.
Okay, and that's again to limit Russian aggression into Europe. That's because Russia's been expanding as well.
Anyway, my comparison, I mean, should be kind of natural. Like if we didn't like Russia putting their missiles in Cuba, or if Russia today wanted to pull Mexico into some kind of a military alliance and put their missiles, like we wouldn't like that. So obviously they would not like NATO expanding into Ukraine, right? It's just,
Did you hear my response to that?
Say your response again. Because it was during Cold War?
One, it was during the Cold War. Two, we've already been on the border of Russia for literally over a decade, right? Almost two at this point. 2 decades, right? So I don't see why this changes
Estonia,
anything.
Latvia is like if you spit on the floor, they would be as big as Estonia and Latvia and Lithuania.
Not true.
Ukraine, yeah. Like in
Can I
comparison,
show you a map?
I know, dude. I know. In comparison to Ukraine,
I'm not saying it's as big as Ukraine, but what I'm saying is it's on the border.
Yeah, it's on the border. I'm saying
So then what's the relevant difference between these two?
relevant difference is the size of the land. Like once
Okay, I don't see how that's relevant.
Well,
Because Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia are pretty close in size to Ukraine if you add them all up.
if you add this one was going to be like a Ukraine strategically. If you add them all up, yeah. I mean, if you add them all up, still not as big, but just you're contradicting yourself here, right? That's how big Ukraine is.
How am I contradicting
all
myself?
of them up to get to Ukraine size. So
I'm asking
Ukraine
how I contradicted myself.
I'm saying is Ukraine is a lot bigger than Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. And you're saying if you add them all up. Well, yeah, if you add them all up,
Because they all joined in the early
sometimes
2000s.
you're saying that by saying that, you're saying that Ukraine is a lot bigger than any one of these countries. It was a big.
Oh, I thought I got banned for a second. I'm not disputing that you. Okay, I just don't even care to respond to this. Are you done? I'm done. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, Arad?
No.
All right. Okay, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. We are just looking for some debates. All right, let's try this next person, everyone. Oh, they literally joined as soon as I ended them. Unfortunate. You, what's up? How old are you?
35.
For sure. Do you think that you should vote? Are you going to vote for Trump?
Yes.
Okay, why so?
Well, Biden is a murderous tyrant
How
who
so?
has committed crimes against humanity.
Are you talking about in terms of genocide in Palestine?
Yes.
Trump claims he's the most pro-Israel president. He's the best for Israel.
Right, but he never actually committed genocide, did he?
He literally funded Israel in its occupation over the region.
But he wasn't the president at the
He
time.
moved
that
it.
they're
He
killing
moved
all
the.
people.
That doesn't mean that Trump didn't influence it or didn't want that to occur. The same thing would have happened under Trump, if not more.
Okay, but you don't know that. You're.
I
making
do know that
assumptions.
Trump claims it himself. Trump sent funding. Trump moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, which provoked conflict in the region. Trump, have you seen what Trump said about Hamas and what he thinks that they should do as it relates to it?
You're again posing hypotheticals. You don't know that he would actually have provided.
Hey, I just
military-
told you what he would do, okay? And I
He-
told you what
he
he has
says-
done. I gave you the specific things where he's done. I told you what he's going to do, and you're not taking any of that into account. You're just saying, "Oh, Biden has done these things." That was a terrible way to look at this because you're not looking
No,
at what
it's
they
a great
what
way
they-
to look at it.
You're not looking at what they would do if they're in office, okay? And that's what's relevant in comparing these two.
No, when he was in office, that didn't happen. Okay, for one.
No
Second
shit,
thing
dude,
is,
that's such a dumb
if someone,
point. I just
if
explained
someone,
why it's dumb.
No, that's not a dumb point.
Did you listen to
If
what I just
someone-
said? What did I just say?
Hear me out.
Answer what I just said. Tell me what I just said.
You just said that you explained why Trump would have done the same thing.
What did I say?
That's what I heard.
No, what did I say? What did I say he was? Why he was?
Go ahead and repeat yourself.
Can you tell me?
Because he's pro-Israel.
What did I say he did? What did I say? What else?
Oh yeah, he gave land which provoked tension in the region.
He moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, which made the capital Jerusalem. 1, 2, which provoked conflict in the region. 2, he gave billions of dollars in funding to Israel every single year, right, to establish the defense mechanisms that they could use to then do this. He said specifically that he's the best for Israel, claimed that he wants to totally, completely wipe out Hamas, right, as it relates to this, right? And I mean, there's definitely a disregard for Palestinians as it relates to that. Again, okay, I'm not against getting rid of Hamas. What I'm against is the unnecessary killing of innocent civilians to do so.
Agreed. So now, hear me out though. If someone does murder someone, and you have proof that they murdered someone, do you want them to be your president?
Obviously, I don't want murderers as president, but what I would acknowledge is that they would have both done this. If not, Trump would have done more.
You're assuming that the same crime would have been committed, but it wasn't. So you have no.
And I gave you many fucking reasons. If you listen to what I just said. Okay?
No. You're
How
literally
many reasons did I give you?
You're stereotyping someone. You're like, okay, so this guy would have done
stereotyping. I gave you fucking reasons to indicate why he would be likely to do this.
He didn't do it though. He didn't do it. He didn't commit the crime. He
literally did. He gave fucking billions of dollars every single year to Israel.
No, that doesn't mean
What do you mean? No,
giving weapons to Israel to kill people.
They were literally occupying the region and killing Palestinians.
No,
he also helped specifically the Saudis blockade Yemen, which then led to 85,000 Yemeni children starving to death. You care about that? Did you even hear about that? Did you even look into that?
He's not giving guns to murderers.
He did.
He
literally helped the Saudi blockade.
So he gave guns to them so that they could blow their brains out? Is that what he did?
Yes, he gave guns to Israel, which then gave them the ability to do this.
So
you understand that's what the funding for foreign aid does, right?
Every president since 1948 has been giving weapons to Israel. Okay?
Exactly my fucking point.
No, but my point is, we are complicit as a country. He is complicit as a leader in murdering
and Trump would do the
over
same,
30,000 people.
And Trump would do the same, if not more.
No, but he didn't. You are espousing some sort of
42. Did 85,000 Yemeni children starve to death under Biden's watch?
Did Biden or did
answer the question yet? 42. Answer the question.
I have no idea.
Okay, not to the same degree. So again, if you're going to relate to this specifically, I think that you can't not acknowledge this.
Okay. If you're saying that someone
it's literally more people, by the way.
That doesn't matter. He didn't give.
What do you mean that doesn't? What do you mean that doesn't fucking matter? It happened.
He's not actively blowing people's brains out.
Trump literally funded a blockade that starved children. And they're saying, oh, he's not blowing their brains out, so it's okay. He increased military drone strikes by 450% in the Middle East, which led to
you're literally
civilians
espousing
dying.
some random thing that he did to some random thing that happened.
What?
But you're not. Yes, you think he 100% knew that there were going to be 40,000 children starving? Is that what you're saying?
If you're supporting a blockade, well, couldn't you say the same thing about Biden as it relates to the amount of Palestinians that have died?
No, Biden is literally giving them weapons, bombs, guns.
Yeah, and Trump did the same thing in the funding of Saudi Arabia. Trump took money from Saudi Arabia and his businesses.
But
Trump constantly defended Saudi Arabia. He gave them funding to then literally commit this blockade to kill people. Okay,
but you don't get it.
Supported them after.
We're actively Biden bypassed Congress to give weapons to Israel.
Again, which Trump would have done the exact same thing for, which he's claimed he would do.
You don't know that. There is no evidence
42.
of that. You have.
He claimed that he would do it. I have just given you the evidence.
I don't care if he's claimed he would do it. People all the time.
You're literally ignoring the evidence when it's blatantly.
No, you're not listening.
Like 6 times. Listen to what I just said. He literally, I gave you multiple fucking reasons to do that. He would do this. Multiple reasons.
You are saying that someone would have done that because they said they would have done it. Now, there are people all the time. Listen, there are people all the time saying that they would kill someone all the time. They didn't kill them. They just said they would.
Do you not understand the difference?
Do you not understand that?
Hey, dumbass, do you not understand what the difference is between presidents literally claiming what they're going to do versus an everyday average fucking citizen? Appreciate the cap. Thank you so much.
Okay, then tell me what the difference is.
The difference is one literally is influencing the different types of policy that they engaged in. When Trump specifically claims that he wants a complete and total shutdown of Muslims coming to this country, when he literally advocated for it later on, was that likely to happen? Yes, it did. He fucking did call for that in Congress. So a lot of the things that presidents call for actually fucking occur. For you to completely dispute this and deny this based upon what he said is ridiculous and it's absurd. You wouldn't do this for any other president. You'd look at particularly what Biden said as it relates to what he would do, right? You obviously would look at that. You're obviously going to look at what Trump would do. He literally claimed he's the best for Israel. He claimed that he would do this. He claimed that he would give them this funding. He claimed that he wants to completely destroy the presence in the Middle East. I appreciate the cowboy. Thank you so much. In terms of Palestinians, the Abraham Accords specifically didn't even take into account Palestinians. Okay.
Okay, but you're
He
still
moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, making the capital Jerusalem, which also provoked conflict in the region. He literally gave billions of dollars in funding to the occupying forces in Israel to then have the funding necessary to then commit these actions. Appreciate the handouts. Thank you so much. And none of these you're taking into account?
No. What I'm saying is that Biden is a criminal. What you're saying is that Trump sounds like he might be a criminal.
No, it's not that he might be. It's that he is. He backed Saudi Arabia's blockade, which led to 85,000 Yemeni children starving to death. You're just completely ignoring that. He increased military drone strikes in the Middle East by 450%, got rid of our ability to actually count civilian deaths. Okay?
Okay, look, Biden, if this continues the way that things are going now, Biden is going to be behind starving 2 million people. Okay? So I don't want to hear that he...
Wait,
40,000...
what study says that?
What is the population of Palestine? Of Gaza?
I agree, but you're saying every single person is going to starve to death there. Obviously, that isn't necessarily
if we brought
what's going
aid
to happen
there, if
with
we were able to bring aid in now, people would still be starving.
42, with the humanitarian funding that Biden helped pass. Andrea, I appreciate the champion. Thank you so much. I appreciate Andrea.
Well, he is actively giving guns and weapons to murderers.
Again, I think that's hypocritical, but Trump is going to do the same thing. When you say Trump is not, I think you're just denying reality. Okay? Because I'm giving you plenty of reasons to say that he would.
I'm not saying that he would not. I am saying that you are currently supporting a criminal right now. That is a criminal right now.
42, what would he do?
I have no idea.
Okay, if you have no idea, you're just not involved enough in politics.
No, you are literally saying that you would support someone who actively murdered 30,000 civilians. Over 30,000 civilians.
Wait, he didn't murder them himself, one.
He was complicit in the act. As far as the law is concerned, it's the same thing.
Can I finish? It's, by the way, it's not the same thing, one. Two, if you want to relate
it is
to
the
this,
same thing.
Can I finish? Do I need to mute you?
Go on.
Okay, so one, it's not the same thing. Two, if you want to relate to this, Trump would have done the exact same thing, right? And three, right, if you want to relate to this, again, you're not actually acknowledging that it's one or the other. It's Trump or Biden. I'm not saying I like these things. What I'm saying is that it's one piece of shit versus two pieces of shit, okay? And
That's stupid. Why would you eat shit? Why would you eat shit?
Yeah, you have to eat shit, okay?
No, you don't.
Listen.
You don't eat the shit. You break the plate. You throw it in the trash. You don't eat the shit.
Can you listen to what I'm saying? Or do I need to mute you again?
Go ahead.
Okay. So again, right, it is the case that you cannot break the system. That's not how it fucking works, right? It's literally Trump or Biden. At the end of the day, one of them is going to be president. If you can't accept that, you're delusional, okay? If you think that you can just snap your fingers and make the system go bye-bye, right? I'm sorry to break it to you. That's not how it fucking works, dumbass, okay? So clearly, if you look at stop talking. Clearly, if you look at what we've seen in terms of political history, there's no other options than the two parties, okay? I'm saying it's one plate of shit or two plates of shit. Which one's worse, Trump or Biden? Tell me.
Why would you eat shit, man? I don't know what's wrong with you. What is wrong with you, Parker? Why are you eating shit?
Okay, so people wonder why I'm insulting. It's because he's not actually engaging with anything I have to say here, and he's saying the same shit multiple over and over again. I'm gonna give it to you again, right? It's one or the other. Can you explain to me any other option here?
Okay, so one person is actively murdering people. One person.
If you don't answer my question, I'm going to go to the next person. Can you answer the question?
Then I'm going to choose the person who isn't actively murdering people. That is my answer.
Which one is that?
Trump.
Trump's not. Okay, so Trump literally did that. Trump literally supported a blockade which starved 85,000 children. Okay?
He didn't put guns in the murderer's hands.
Yes, he fucking did.
No,
He gave
didn't.
money. Yes, he did.
Did they blow out their children's brains?
Yes,
because that's what's happening in Gaza.
Yes, 450,000 or 450% increase in military drone strikes in the Middle East, which killed innocent civilians in the Middle East.
I mean, if you wanted to argue that,
Lewis, thank you so much for the $10 on Cash App. Thank you so much. You're just gonna ignore that because it's fucking beneficial for you.
No, the U.S. has Iraq. Do you not remember Iraq?
I do remember.
We killed like 2 million people, man.
And I disagree with I condemn all of that. Right?
Okay, what I'm saying is there's a very huge difference between blowing people's brains out and not giving them food.
You just said they both lead to the deaths of people, right? And it's not just not giving them food, it's not just not giving them aid, it's you engaged in a blockade to starve them of resources. So are you saying that famines aren't like that bad? If someone forces
No, they're horrible.
So for example, Holodomor, where specifically Stalin engaged in forcible famine in Ukraine, okay? He forced famine in Ukraine. Was that bad?
Yes.
Okay, so did he murder those Ukrainians?
I don't know about the specific details.
Yes, he did. He murdered millions of Ukrainians by forcibly starving them with famine. That was forcible famine. That was artificially created famine. Okay? Similarly, with a blockade on Yemen, that is artificially created famine. That's murdering people. Okay? The same way that when Israel is blockading Gaza and it's starving people, that's also murdering people. Okay? So if you're going to consider it murdering in the fucking context of Gaza, why don't you consider it murdering in the context of Yemen?
Because it's not the same thing.
How is it different?
So, again, if
we were giving weapons of war to Saudi Arabia as well.
No, let me put it this way.
Yes, we were.
If I were to give a gun to someone and that person were to go blow a child's brains out, I am directly responsible for that outcome.
And if you
that
support a country that is blockading another country to starve children, you're also fucking responsible for it.
Okay. And in the same scenario, would I be responsible if let's say there was a parent or something, and I was like, yeah, I support you, and then they starve their child?
Forcibly starve their child. Yes, you are, yes. If you are giving them funding to starve their children, yes, that is bad.
What if I gave them the funding thinking that they were going to feed their children?
That's different. That's humanitarian aid.
But that could have been very well exactly what Biden did.
That's what we need.
Trump did it for.
No, that's not what Trump was doing. Trump was
not
doing it to give humanity. Yes, I do. I've looked at the fucking context of the policy.
Okay, so you're saying that he knew that they were actively murdering.
Yes, blockade. What is a blockade? It's starving a fucking country of resources. Okay, he knew that people in Yemen were starving.
No, this again goes back to the exact same scenario.
So the president of the United States, with access to the greatest level of intelligence worldwide, had no clue that children were starving in Yemen.
He doesn't know what the person he's giving the money to is going to do with it. Biden does.
So Biden. Okay, how does Biden know?
Biden literally is like, they're like, yeah, we're going to go in there and kill Hamas, and there's
they're
people
saying
behind.
They're going to kill. Wait.
No, hear me out.
Listen. No, you hear me out. They're saying they're going to kill terrorists. They're not going to kill innocent civilians. How'd you know then? How is it Biden's fault then? If they say that they're going to kill terrorists and not civilians, how do you know then?
But at the time in which he gave
you use your fucking brain cells and realize that they're killing innocents. Same thing with Saudi Arabia. Use your fucking brain cells, 42.
But at the time,
this is actually ridiculous levels of ignorance. You're being willfully ignorant right now.
No.
Yes, you are.
At the time
You're being disingenuous and willfully ignorant.
Bypassed Congress. In the time that Biden bypassed Congress in order to give funding to Israel, it was very clear that Israel is killing civilians.
and in Trump's support of Saudi Arabia, it was very fucking clear they were starving tens of thousands of fucking Yemeni children. Okay? So what's your point?
As far as Trump's concerned, he might think that they're going to give aid or help the Yemeni children. Like,
wait. Couldn't Biden say that about Israel? They could say that they think Israel is going to try and get rid of Hamas and help the Palestinian children, which they're clearly not doing.
Okay, that's like someone saying, "I'm going to go. There's a shooter in a school. I'm going to go blow up the school."
That's like someone saying, let's fund Stalin and him literally causing mass famine in Ukraine. Okay, get a fucking grip on reality. 42.
There's a very clear correlation between giving bombs to people and those people getting bombed.
And Trump also
Where were
gave-
those bombs going to be
Trump
used
also
if not
gave
to
fucking
bomb those people?
You know, Trump also gave weapons to Saudi Arabia. You know, Trump also gave weapons, right, to Israel. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm aware. Every president has.
Okay, so you're just going to deny
there-
all the funding and
No, no,
all
no.
the shit that Trump does, and you're going to only
No,
apply it to the context
every
of Biden.
president has-
Not only is
because
this
it's
fucking risky as it
defensive.
relates to people around the world, as it relates to foreign policy, but it's also risky for people here in the United States domestically. Trump has called for specifically federal abortion ban, which would then lead to women in America not having access or the right to abortion. He's put in Supreme Court justices that overturned Roe versus Wade and led to 13-year-olds in this country being forced to go through pregnancies. He's denied elections, right, fair and democratic elections, repeatedly, undermining our American democracy and our ability to be able to change policy in this country. He's a proven sexual abuser. He's a proven fraudster. He sent 83% of his taxes to the top 1%, people making over $500,000 in this country, increasing after-tax income for the top 1%, top 0.1% in the highest quintile, while decreasing after-tax income for the lowest quintile for the middle class. Okay, so taking money from the fucking poor people in this country, from the middle class, and giving it to rich people in this country. He's called for the death penalty, which 4% of people in death row are innocent. He's called for a Muslim ban, which is religious persecution, a complete and total shutdown to Muslims entering the country. Right? He said that specifically, people who come in this country from Mexico, they're rapists, they're criminals. Some, I assume, are good people. Some's an unspecified number that typically refers to a minority of people. If he actually cared about people coming to the country, why wouldn't he say most, I assume, are good people? Why would he only say some? Okay? So you can constantly
going
see
back
what
to what
Trump
he
has
said.
done domestically and in terms of foreign policy that is significantly worse than Biden. You sit here and claim that Biden is worse. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Okay. How about this? As far as you seem to be concerned with domestic policies, very much over the fact that we're literally murdering people in another country. But
You didn't listen to anything I said. Trump murdered Yemeni children by literally supporting Saudi Arabia's blockade over Yemen. You didn't listen to that. Trump increased military drone strikes in the Middle East, which literally led to kids in the Middle East dying. Trump specifically moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. He gave billions of dollars in funding to Israel. He claims he's the most Israel president in fucking American history. He said he's going to do way more than fucking Biden does.
Okay,
Right? He's very clearly in support of Netanyahu's actions. He has not condemned them at all. Right? Biden has drawn a specific line as it relates to it. Right? At least in some ways, has given unprecedented funding to children in fucking Gaza. Right? And Biden has claimed none of it. I mean, Trump has claimed none of it, okay? You have no fucking clue what you're talking about. You're sitting here and supporting the actions of a literal murderous individual. I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. For no fucking reason.
the president you're supporting is far more murderous. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just gave you a reason. Can you give me anything?
Okay.
Give me something.
Look, you're looking at things like, oh, he banned abortions or whatever. And for one, that wasn't even him. That was the Supreme Court. Secondly,
which three Supreme Court justices were appointed by him
and that's
specifically. Him appointing those judges led to it being overturned. You cannot deny that. You can't dispute that. That's literally undisputable.
All right. Now, how many thousands of people have died from that decision?
I can't count specifically. I can't even approximate.
I know. That's my point.
That's millions of people in this country who do not have access to abortion because of
Tell me-
Trump's particular policy.
No.
You don't care
Tell
about
me some
them.
more. Okay, what other policies do you have a problem with? Just name one.
What other policies do I have a problem with as it relates to the context of Trump?
Yes.
I already told you the Muslim ban, right? I
Okay,
have a
how many
problem
people
with him-
died from the... No. How many people died from the Muslim ban?
I
Can you
don't know.
quantify that?
I
Okay.
can't quantify that.
Go ahead. Give me another one.
Give you another one?
Yeah, give me another one that you...
Okay. Trump is for getting rid of the ACA, which tens of millions of people are on healthcare in the ACA.
How many people have died from that?
Tens of thousands.
No, do you have
Tens
actual
of thousands.
figures?
Yes.
Show me those figures.
A Yale study indicated that
A
universal.
Yale study?
Can I finish? A Yale study indicated that Medicare for All specifically would save 68,000 American lives in this country, which means 68,000 American lives die in this country every single year because of lack of access to healthcare. Those numbers were higher when we had less coverage of people as it relates to access of healthcare. The ACA has
missed the
helped
point of my
diminish
question.
that. I can. What do you stop? What?
Okay, you are, again, projecting into what may have happened. I am telling you what did happen.
Hey, dumbass, I'm giving you studies that indicate this is likely to happen.
Studies
If you
that
fucking
project
listen to what I
which may
said.
happen.
The studies don't reject what I say. They support the
Again-
notions I just referenced. I'm not giving you dumbass
No, I'm not
fucking
saying
random
that-
claims.
I'm not saying
I'm
that you're-
I'm literally giving you specifically evidence to indicate that it's probable this would be the case. Evidence that this is specifically
Probable.
happening in this country.
Probable
that lack
cause.
of healthcare
Probable.
specifically leads to this. Every claim
Legally,
is based upon
legally,
probability.
if you were to give
42.
someone
42.
look.
Every claim is based on probability.
But we have factual evidence that Biden
That
is
is based
giving
on
guns
probability.
to murderers.
That is based upon probability.
That is
Every
not a
claim
probability.
Yes, it is.
That is a fact.
Every
that
claim is
actually
based-
happened.
Yes, because it is. I agree it's a fact, right? But that fact is based upon probability. Okay, it's for most
How?
likely to be true. Because, right, any claim is. There's a problem in philosophy of called hard solipsism. It basically critiques the notion of certainty that things couldn't possibly be otherwise, right? That's just like it. There's always a logical possibility otherwise. So you base everything on probability. Is it
Okay.
very probable? Yes. Is it very probable Trump's a proven sexual abuser? Yes. Is it very probable that Trump starved Yemeni children due to the blockade over Yemen specifically? Yes. Did Trump specifically give funding and weapons to Israel to continue its occupation and then in genocide in Gaza? Yes. Did Trump specifically increase military drone strikes in the Middle East? Yes. Did Trump specifically give give money to rich people at the expense of poor people in this country? Yes.
Okay, you still don't have like I understand that you're saying it's everything's a probability, and yeah, there's a probability of some variation of how many people that Biden has directly funded their murder. Okay, that's true. Okay, but we're talking about in like the 99.99% chance versus maybe 60 or 50%.
It's not 60 or 50%. I've already told you multiple times. You're willfully ignorant at this point. You're not listening to anything I said. Okay? I just told you multiple fucking times. Trump literally backed Saudi Arabia in starving fucking tens of thousands of Yemeni children. Have you heard me clearly yet? Have you heard
Yes,
that?
I've heard you.
That's literally
Multiple
giving
times.
funding, that's giving money, that's giving ideological support for a country that is starving tens of thousands
Okay.
of children. Don't
Did
sit here
Saudi
and argue
Arabia-
that like Biden's doing this for murder when literally Trump did the exact same thing to a greater extent and literally claims he would do more in the context of Gaza.
Okay,
Get
did
a fucking
Saudi
grip.
Arabia blow those children's brains out? Did
Yes.
he bombed them? No, they didn't.
And they starved them.
Okay.
I don't know why you're laughing when it literally fucking happened. We have evidence that this happened. This is not
Okay.
disputed internationally, okay?
Now, again, if we're looking at projections, and this is what I'm trying to get to, okay, is
You're
if we're
literally
looking
laughing
at
at children
projections.
dying.
No, I'm laughing at
did.
the
You
fact that
literally
you're,
just
you're
did.
not you're not making coherent arguments. Listen,
What did I not make that's coherent? I've given it to you like 7
will you
fucking
let me
times.
finish?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. What I'm saying is, if we are to continue down this projection path, that you're looking at projections in order to make your argument. If we were to look down that projection path, guess what? 2 million Gazans are going to die.
I wasn't looking at projections. I looked at what fucking happened. I told you already, okay? Any numbers are projections, and the projections don't say 2 million people are going to die, right? Because of humanitarian aid that has been going through the region.
If
okay?
there's no food or nothing coming in, then yes, they will die.
There is food going in because of American
No,
humanitarian
they're
aid.
dropping them through planes. There's no way that that's feeding even a
That-
fraction of the population.
That is
No.
feeding people.
No, what percentage? How much food, how many calories are going into the country through the
Billions of
airdrops?
dollars in aid. Billions of dollars
No,
in aid. There's
no, I don't care
there
if you
was
say
6
random
billion-
numbers.
There was $6 billion in funding in terms of humanitarian aid.
It doesn't
that was given.
matter. How many calories?
What do you mean it doesn't matter? I don't know the
'Cause that
specific
doesn't- you can spend as much money as
That
you
is
want, it doesn't mean
disingenuous. That
anything.
is disingenuous for you to say how many calories when it's $6 billion in
No.
humanitarian funding. Because I don't know the calorie count doesn't change shit.
No, that does change everything. Don't
No,
you
it
get it?
doesn't.
If you're airdropping it, you're spending millions of dollars to airdrop. Okay,
Yeah, you
you're
understand that
wasting
it's-
most of that money. Only a fraction of
God,
those
oh my
calories are
God.
actually making it to the people.
They have split up in the policy the fucking transportation and the money specifically for the food. If you actually looked at the policy and actually listened to what I was saying, you would have heard that.
Okay, look, this is what I'm trying to say to you, okay? How many calories does an individual need to survive each day? Okay, now we multiply that by the population in Gaza, okay, 2 million. Now, how many calories has the U.S. actually dropped into Gaza?
I already told you I don't.
A fraction.
Wait, how many calories? Tell me. You don't know. You're just saying bullshit.
Do you
okay?
know?
No. I told you already I don't fucking know. And you literally asked that question again.
You realize, like,
You're disingenuous. You're literally disingenuous. 'Cause I already told you this.
We're sending $6 billion in aid over there, is what you said, right?
We sent $6 billion in humanitarian aid last time I checked.
Okay, $6 billion probably, if you're counting for airdrops, is a fraction of the calories. Okay, I'll just say probably because
42?
it's very
42. I just told you the policy differentiates. Okay.
Look, the
42.
UN.
I'm not going to tell you if you literally one more time go against something that I literally just told you 3 fucking times. I'm going to go to the next person. I don't know how many more times I have to tell you the same information because you literally aren't listening to me.
So why did Biden let UNRWA get defunded?
I don't know specifically.
Okay, so that's another policy where he is starving people. So that's really quite comparable to what you're talking about.
What are you referencing?
UNRWA provides aid. UNRWA was constructed specifically to provide aid to the Palestinian people, and that is how they've been getting food.
Wait. He sent $6 billion of funding for humanitarian aid. That is unprecedented. No other president has even come close to that.
Yeah, after he sent $14 billion in bombs. What are you talking about?
I agree that. Well, actually, it's not all in bombs. By the way, there's defense and stuff like that.
Okay.
And whatnot. So
some fraction of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so some fraction of that is specifically bombs, but I'm not disputing that. I definitely have called that out. I've literally said millions of times, right? That's bad. But what you're not acknowledging is that Trump supports the exact same thing, if not more. He says he's the most pro-Israel president, and he's also done even more in the context of Saudi Arabia that you're just literally, the context of Yemen that you're just literally ignoring. Okay, when you just ignore 85,000 children that got starved in Yemen, that's ridiculous. Okay, that's systematic murder.
You just changed the number.
What?
I thought you said 40,000.
No, I didn't.
It's 85,000. 80. What?
I said that since the beginning.
Okay, that.
I didn't change the number. You misheard me.
Okay.
That tells me you're literally not listening.
I am listening to you.
Because in no time did I say that.
Okay. Well, regardless, we're still talking about what someone through proxy may have done. Okay, versus someone literally giving these specific bombs that are being dropped.
May have done. You understand that? Oh my God! I literally already told you this. He gave money to Saudi Arabia in terms of weapons.
Okay, money is fungible. And then
also,
money is not.
Are you against Biden supporting the blockade? Oh wait, no, he's against the blockade. Okay, are you for specifically? Would you be against a president being in support of a blockade over Palestine?
Yeah, they should blockade Israel.
Okay, so if you think that you would be against that, why would you be against it?
Wait, what?
Why would you be against it?
Be against what?
Why would you be against a president supporting the blockade?
Which blockade?
The one in Gaza.
Okay, so why would I be for a president supporting the blockade?
Why would you be for a president being against it?
Because there's very clearly a power dynamic here in which Israel is blockading land, sea, and air supplies from hitting Gaza, except for now they've allowed a few airdrops.
And that's bad because it starves children, right? And it starves people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about in Yemen?
Okay, so again, if Biden's whole thing, if the problem let me pose it this way: if the problem was,
change my question.
No, I'm not changing your question. If the problem was,
answer it specifically. I'm not going to ask you again.
No, I think that's wrong. Okay, but look, if the problem was,
I want you to explain fully.
Because people are dying.
Oh, okay. So you think it's wrong for Trump to support a country that systematically murdered 85,000 people through a blockade? And that were children.
Just hear me out.
Wait, no, I want you to say that. I want you to say that Trump supported a country that systematically murdered people, right? I want you to say that.
Yeah, that happened. Okay.
Now, and it was to a greater extent than Biden.
Will you let me finish what I'm saying?
No, I want you to say this. And it was to a greater extent than Biden.
I don't know that for sure.
We do. 85,000 children died. Okay.
but we don't know that they wouldn't have done that anyways. They're also extremely
Oh, they wouldn't have done that
wealthy, so-
anyways. Oh.
No,
okay,
no,
so
no,
couldn't
no.
you say this? Couldn't you say the same thing as it relates to the context of Israel?
Okay. I don't see how the small amount of money that we sent to Saudi Arabia funded the whole operation, considering they
What do you
have
mean the small amount of money that you mean?
billions and billions of dollars in oil money.
We've sent billions. We've also had
that's fine.
ideological support.
That's a drop in the bucket. Is my point.
No, it's not.
Do you even know how much money Saudi Arabia makes from oil?
Yes, and again, this money still allows them to perpetuate this particular conflict as it relates to Yemen. Okay.
In fact, I wouldn't
That's
even
what
be
you're not
surprised if we
understanding.
sent them the money in exchange for oil.
Yeah. So again, you're literally just like I like how you're just ignoring
Okay,
it, and you're just
can
like
I-
you're just like, oh, it would have happened regardless, right?
No,
for
this
that,
is-
but then you don't say it would have happened.
I'm trying to
regardless.
address what you're saying.
Then you're
in
okay.
a-
Wait. I actually think it's funny that then you bring up.
But you won't let me
hypothetical-
talk.
Yeah, don't talk. I think it's funny that you say that I bring up hypothetical scenarios. Oh, would have happened regardless. I appreciate the Little Crown. Thank you so much. As it relates to this, but then when I made the exact same claim as it relates to Trump, you're like, oh, you can't say that because it's hypothetical.
No. I'm saying that the hypothetical that we're looking at in the near future from Biden, if he remains in office and if things continue the way that they are is a massive scale worse, on the order of Holocaust level.
Respond. What did I just say to you?
You said that I keep giving you our hypotheticals, and I keep telling you that
Listen
you can't
to
make
what
that.
I say. I'm gonna one more time. If you don't even respond to what I'm saying, I'm going to the next person. I'm done with this. This is unbelievable. Okay. I want you to actually tell me what you think I said.
Will you let me finish my point that I've been trying to say for the last 15 minutes?
You understand that I'm not letting you finish because you're fucking not listening to what I'm saying.
And you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I am. I've listened to everything you've said and I've responded to it.
This very much is pertinent to what you're saying. What I'm trying to get out.
Well, then what did I say? Tell me what I said.
Is this how you win every argument? You just
tell me what I said.
Give me evidence. Give me evidence.
Tell me. You see how he's pivoting? Tell me what I said. He's gonna say, "No, I don't remember now."
Now you said you were again, as multiple times you've said, Trump had given money to Saudi Arabia to starve 85,000 children.
That's not what I just said.
Okay, what did you just say?
So you didn't hear what I just said. I told you if you didn't hear what I said, I'm gonna go.
Do you
to the
want me to
next
start
person.
doing that to you and start asking you what you just said? I think
I would
this
absolutely
dynamic would quickly change.
I would absolutely be able to. And again, I'm going to go on to the next person because it's unfucking believable.
No, I just want to say one thing to you.
I have to go.
Will you let me say one thing?
No.
No.
Because you're not engaging with what I have to say. Why would I give you the ability to speak?
Then tell me what you said and I'll engage with it. Go ahead.
I've literally already had to do that so many times. I told you that was my last time. Okay.
No.
I did. I already told you. At 42, I already told you that was my last time. Okay. Multiple times.
Can we just be civil for a second, man?
I was being civil, and you literally did not want to do that.
No, you're using a power dynamic. You're trying to manipulate the situation.
I'm not manipulating anything.
Can I just say one thing?
You're
to you?
literally.
Will you let me talk for 1 second?
No, because you didn't listen to anything I said.
Oh, okay. Look at you.
Yeah, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Right? I'm not going to accept bullshit consistently. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Too old for the kitten to lead the cat.
For sure. Will you vote for
Can you
Trump in
hear me,
2024?
Parker? Wait a minute, I'm trying to turn it up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you. Are you going to vote for Trump
Can
in
you hear me,
2024?
Parker?
I do.
Can you hear me? Parker.
Let's go to the next person. Everyone, listen to guess your request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, how's it going? I'm going to vote for Trump. I just think that your cussing and your yelling is showing your immaturity. I just came on here for mainly one subject, and you want a federal, or you're saying that Trump is saying that he wanted a federal ban on, we'll call it AB. I suppose that's a cancel word now.
Oh no, you can say abortion. There's no issue with that. And the reason why I was responding that way was because of the disingenuous nature of how the guest was responding to everything that was being said.
Well, I try to be real quick in here because typically when I go in and debate and just have a normal conversation with you guys, the chat somehow gets rid of my live. I've been off a month just for having a normal conversation with you guys. So
I'm on a 6th account right now.
I came in here to say that Trump didn't want a nationwide ban. That's why he put it to the states. Just like marijuana, it's put on by the states. If we did a federal vote then that means each state is not getting their word out or what they want to vote on. When you do a federal blanket, so let's say Texas wants AB and California does it, move to California. But if you do a federal-wide ban on something, then that means it's federally done and nobody gets to speak their words. That's why they give it to the states and not for the federal government.
Yeah, but that leads to people in this country being forced. Like, say, for example, there were 13-year-olds in this country that were forced to go through pregnancies because of abortion law being left up to the states.
And I'll tell you what, as a conservative, I am against certain things, molestation. And I'm not, like I said, even Trump got in trouble. They got trouble by them saying, put it to the states. The Republicans were mad about that. I'm not for certain things for abortion. I had a ex-wife who got an abortion when I was young. And she used it for contraceptive all the time. I'm not saying that all people do. But what I'm saying is it shouldn't be a nationwide blanket thing. It should be put to the states just like anything. And everybody wants a federal blanket of marijuana being, I'm against marijuana. I don't think that it should be. But the one thing I do agree about marijuana.
Okay, I have a few things I want to address here. One, you can't say that term. Just use just say M drug or something.
Yeah, see, everything's
two,
canceled. I'm sorry.
No, it's just certain things like that. Two, I have no issue with it being federal. I think it should be federal for a lot of these things. Like, it should be federally protected. It shouldn't be the case that people, based upon where they live, they could be subject to going to prison for just possession of M drug, right?
Right.
Do you think you should go to prison for possession?
Absolutely not. I'm a retired correctional officer, and I met many guys who are in prison for wrong things. Like I said, there should be regulations on it. And I think it did reduce a lot of people smuggling into the country and marijuana. And you do get to tax it, which I'm a capitalist. And I believe, hey, you're a capitalist. I don't agree a lot of things on the marijuana. I don't think it should be federally I don't think it should be a federal thing. I think it should be done by the states just like it is.
Then you're going to acknowledge that people are put in jail for having possession of it, which is ridiculous. One, two.
I agree with that.
You also acknowledge that, like, if you leave abortion law up to the states, there are going to be cases where 10-year-olds, like in Ohio, were forced to go through pregnancies.
AK, I'm not for alcohol either. So I mean,
did you hear that? They're forced to go through pregnancies.
Yes, and some should be.
And you're okay with that?
Lay in bed with somebody and
wait, Mr. Week, we're talking about a 10-year-old.
Okay, no, I don't agree with the 10-year-old being forced to be pregnant. No, I don't. And you name a 10-year-old being forced to be pregnant.
There's one in Ohio. There's a case where a 10-year-old got pregnant in Ohio.
And they're being forced to have a baby.
Yes.
In Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear that, because I would love to go advocate against something like that. I'm against something like that. But what I'm saying is the contraceptive part, where people just go and have lay in bed together, and then they're just going to use abortion, AB, whatever, for that. And that, I think that is wrong. But ultimately, what I think is you and I, at the end of the tunnel, we both agree on things. That there just needs to be people that sit down with mature minds, rather than the far left and the far right, that come together and say, hey, we want the same thing. Let's just come together and let's make these laws right. And that's the problem with, I think, today. It's just and that's disgusting. I agree with that. I agree with you right there. I do agree that is disgusting. No 10-year-old.
Do you think this should have to happen in our country?
Absolutely not. And I think that
federal
should be
abortion law then.
No, that's not true. What needs to happen
federal
is those
abortion
people
law
in
would
that
get rid of
state,
that.
Those people in that state need to come together and say that that's wrong.
Okay, so do you want to prevent this on a
No,
federal
I'm not
scale?
far right.
Wait, if you could prevent this on a federal scale, would you do it?
If I could prevent that, I'm for sure. But there needs to be
Okay,
breakdowns.
so you would be in support of a federal law then. Okay. So
for
that's
that
one thing.
situation, yes.
Yeah. So then you're against Trump putting in Supreme Court justices in the Supreme Court that overturned Roe versus Wade and left it up to the states.
Left it to the states, and that's what it should be. And people in that state should be outraged if they make that 10-year-old do that.
Dude, you just disagreed with it, right? You just said that we should stop it federally.
We should break it down and not just be a blanket abortion. And that's the problem. Is everything
You're just going back and forth on your own view.
What am I going back and forth?
You said that you'd be okay with the federal one because it is the case that it would prevent things like that from happening. But then you just went back on it and said it should be up to the states, which would then lead to these things happening.
Let's say we made it.
So then you're okay with that happening then, under your view?
let's say if we made it federal, it needs to be broken down into these are the reasons why A, B, and C, and this is the reason we're not going to allow this to happen. So if people are just using it for contraceptive, no, you're going to have that baby. If you're over 18 and you lay into bed with somebody, you're going to have that baby. And that's what I'm saying but when you are underage or your daddy or something did that, then absolutely not. I'm against that as well. But people that just go use that just because they laid in bed with somebody, absolutely not. You should not be using it.
And why is that?
Because you made a choice as a grown adult to lay down with somebody and you knew the consequences.
So I don't see it to be valuable prior to sentience.
Just as somebody made a consequence to get in a car and drink and drive and they get in trouble for it. Just as they're all consequences of life.
Wait. So specifically, the context of drinking and driving, that can produce harm, right? Prior to the context of sentience, I don't know what harm is being produced.
Harm is being produced to a baby that should be born.
Wait, no, it's not, because there's no sentience.
That is a child that is in somebody's child.
It has no sentience. How can you even consider that?
How do you know? How do you know what's
Because
what's
we have articles in neuroscience that indicate that it's likely to occur between the 18th through 26th week during after gestation.
Well, I don't know about scientists. You
Mayfield,
may know.
Savannah, thank you so much for the dollar. I thank you.
That God created a child to go in somebody's body, and that child deserves to be born.
Does God make it so that you become pregnant?
Does God no, humans make it because you become pregnant. Once that is in somebody's body, then that is God who created that.
Oh, okay. So if God created that, well then why did God make that 10-year-old who got raped pregnant?
He didn't make that 10-year-old to be pregnant. He created he didn't create that person. That person's evil.
No, so that evil action occurred. Yeah, we agree, right? You'd say that's bad under your worldview. But why did God let her get pregnant? Why didn't God make it so that she didn't have to get pregnant, so that she didn't have to go through the context of an abortion because she was assaulted?
That is called free will. And unfortunately, due to free will.
But that has nothing to do with free will, because we're talking about whether or not the egg picked the sperm.
That man had free will to do that child, and due to the reproduction system that was created, that child was created. And now there's laws against it, which God created man to create laws that is inhumane and needs to be stopped. But that I'm talking about adults. We're talking about grown people who have the knowledge beyond a 10-year-old, beyond this sick person, people who lay down in bed and create a child. That was something that
we're just talking about prior to sentience, though, because again, I don't care about it prior to sentience. Like, for example, right? If there's like a petri dish, we have a sperm, we have an egg, we cause like a fertilization, which would give us a zygote, a fertilized egg at conception. Do you think I should go to prison for the rest of my life if I slap the zygote and kill it?
Who's talking about people going to prison for the rest of their life?
Well, you think it's murder.
It is murder, but
so if you think it's murder, do you think I should go to prison for the rest of my life?
People are going to prison even in conservative states for the rest of their lives for abortion?
Yes, that would be because you consider it murder. Do you think murderers should be in prison for the rest of their life?
I'm talking about the point of abortion laws. Is there a law out there where
I'm asking you a question. Do you think that murderers should go to prison for the rest of their lives?
Not all murderers go to prison for the rest of their lives. There are different.
I didn't ask you that. Do you think murderers should go to prison for the rest of their lives?
Absolutely not.
No? How long should murderers go to prison?
Levels of murder. That's why the court system has different levels of murder.
Okay, so what levels of murder
would be a different level than me going down the street and just shooting somebody for no reason. First
degree. Should you go to prison for the rest of your life for first degree murder?
For first degree murder, absolutely.
Okay, so this would be first degree murder under your worldview for me to slap the zygote. Do you think I should go to prison for the rest of my life?
Absolutely not. It would be under a different law.
So it's not murder.
You're twisting my words. It's a different law based on the scenario of what you're talking about. So
it's not murder? You said it's a different law. So is it a different law than murder?
Is it a different law than murder? What are you talking about? It is murder of a child, okay?
If it's murder, then I should go to prison for the rest of my life, right? Because it's first degree murder.
Oh my gosh. You're just going in circles, man. It's
you're not understanding.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying that I'm calling it murder, and it's a different level of murder. This child is not born
Okay,
yet.
so what level of murder is it? What is it? Is it second degree, third degree?
That would be up to the courts to create something
I'm
new.
asking
an
you under
abortion
your
law.
worldview, dude. It's like
In my worldview, there would be abortion law. If you come to my state and you and another consenting adult have a child and figure out a doctor, that doctor will be prosecuted, and both of you will be prosecuted for an abortion murder, which could be different degrees, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, because that's
I'm
why we
asking
set
you what you think it should be. Do you think
I think
do you
5
think an
years.
abortion? So you think it's not first degree murder?
It's not first degree murder. It's considered a law that you broke.
What
just
is
like
first
any
degree
other
murder
law.
characterized by?
First degree murder is an intent to kill somebody without any kind of justification that you went down and killed somebody for no reason. You
Yeah, I
didn't.
just slapped the zygote. That's literally intentfully killed them with a plan, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay, so based upon your qualifications of what you consider first degree murder, that would be first degree murder.
Under a different statute, though, because now we're talking about something different than just going down and shooting somebody. We're talking about a fetus, a child, being taken out of a body that was growing into something. It wasn't just a something on the ground. It was something that is about ready to be created.
Okay, a zygote's
Do you
already
believe in God? Do you believe in God?
no, a zygote's already
And
created.
I think that's the issue. Is
First
we're
Samuel
gonna-
15:3. Read it.
What do you mean? What's
Do
first?
you want me to read
Samuel?
it? Do you want me to read it?
Sure, go ahead.
Yep. Okay, so let's read 1 Samuel 15:3. 1 Samuel 15:3 says, "Now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys." Do you think some ethnic cleansing is justified?
That's why Jesus came in. That you're talking about the Old Testament.
Yeah, is some ethnic cleansing justified?
Are some ethnic cleansing justified?
You got age restricted, so I have to go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. Everyone, we have like no guest requests, y'all. So do send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi, I'm 35.
For sure. Will you vote for Trump in 2024?
I absolutely will.
Why so?
Well, there's so many factors. I've been waiting for about an hour to speak with you. The first thing is I'm an expat since November of 2020, living outside of the U.S., along with 4.1 million expats that leave the U.S. or have left the U.S. because of the issues that we have going on at home. I'm a registered Republican. I was raised in a time when God was respected in schools and we had American values, which
What are American values?
Our country was founded on people escaping religious persecution.
Oh, so Trump calling for a Muslim ban isn't religious persecution?
No, actually, he didn't call for a Muslim ban. What he wanted was for people who were terrorists or posed a threat to the nation to not enter the nation. He did. Yeah, I think.
Want to
earlier
bet? Want to
today,
bet?
Muslim ban for Muslims entering the U.S.
Yeah. Do you want to bet?
Okay, that was after the shooting in San Bernardino.
No, I just want to ask you. Do you want to bet?
I don't want to bet.
Complete shutdown of
Complete
Muslims
shutdown,
entering the
absolutely,
United-
of borders.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
After
Donald
the
J.
shooting
Trump
of
is
San
calling for a
Bernardino,
total and complete shutdown of
After the-
Muslims entering the United States.
That's religious persecution.
after the shooting at San Bernardino. That's correct. Yes.
Does that change whether or not it's religious persecution?
That's not religious persecution. He's
That is
not
literally
killing them.
that is literally the basis of religious. Can you describe to me what religious persecution is?
When you kill people in the name of religion. He was not killing people in the name of religion.
So
He was
if I
protecting our
if I
country.
prevent
He was protecting
Christians,
our country at that time. He was protecting our country.
yeah, shut the fuck up. If I prevent
You are
Christians from coming to this country,
so disrespectful. You're
cry about
literally
it.
like 20 years older than me.
if I prevent
I have a
Christians from
master's
coming,
degree in international relations and
okay,
economics. Please stop.
if I prevent Christians from coming to this country, is that religious persecution?
It's not. You're not killing in the name of religion.
Okay, so
If
you only
if they
you-
shot
so
up people at if
Appreciate
if
the
there's
Panther Paws.
people
Thank
that
you
are
so much.
posing a threat, if there's people that are posing a threat on the nation and he's taking the steps that need to be taken in order to protect the nation, then how is that religious persecution?
Because I don't think this is required to protect the country, one. Two, the same types of things that he tried to ban people from coming to this country for, right, are actually not applied to other countries. Other countries around the world are not given these same standards, yet they have similar types of levels of violence, things like that. This was particularly for Muslims coming into the country. And if you want to look at the definition of religious persecution, it doesn't only relate to the context of killing people. If you look up religious persecution, let's actually look it up right now. Religious persecution is simply just defined as systematic mistreatment of an individual or group based upon a response to their religious beliefs or affiliations or lack thereof. So this is religious persecution because it's systematic mistreatment of Muslims entering the country because they're Muslim.
Okay, I'll give you that point. No, that's fine. Let's touch on three things that you've said, that I've heard you say. The first thing you said, Kamala Harris would be a good president. I'd like for you to explain. That's not what I said. You did, because someone said.
No, I said Kamala Harris would be better than Trump and Biden.
If Biden were, she would absolutely not be. You're speaking to a Latina woman. I'm part of Latinas for Trump, and I'm also a part of momsforliberty.org. So you're
okay. That doesn't mean your opinion is somehow more valid than mine here.
I was born and raised in New York City. My parents were Democrats. I'm a registered Republican. So I have.
Okay, I grew up in a conservative Christian household, and now I'm not.
Okay, but that's you. The reason why I'm not living in my home country, the reason why I'm not living in my home country is because my 8-year-old does not need to have points of views imposed on her public education or even private education.
Oh, like the Bible.
Where she's being told
that gay people exist and you should accept gay people.
No, that's not the case. I have a gay nephew and we love him and adore him. I don't need those views to be imposed on an 8-year-old child. There's a difference.
Just that gay people exist and you should accept them. Similarly, how you think that people should accept Christians.
We love.
No, this country does not accept gay people.
I personally love my
Quenisha, thank you for the $5, and Roberta, thank you for the $10. I appreciate it on Venmo. Thank you so much.
He's been
as well
gay
as Kate,
since
thank
he
you for
was
the
3 years
$5.
old, and he's absolutely one of the best human beings alive. However, that doesn't mean that my daughter, who's 8 years old, needs to have transgender drilled into her head.
We're not trying to drill anything into heads. We're just saying it's okay to be gay. It's okay to be trans. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's okay is one thing, and when you're rubbing it and into children's brains and minds, that doesn't happen outside of the U.S.
Wait, we're just saying it's acceptable. That's it. And again, just because the U.S. and also in Europe they do. In Europe, it absolutely is the case.
But it's not okay. I get to choose what my child's culture and upbringing is, because guess what?
Not necessarily, right? You don't choose the friends that are around.
I brought this child into the world.
Not true. Of course you brought them into the world, but you don't choose the entirety of the culture that they grow up in. The culture is not.
Yes, we do. That's why we moved her out of the United States. Yes, we do. Absolutely do.
Okay, I was talking about if you keep yourself in the United States. Not everyone has the capacity to move out like that.
4.1 million of us agree with me. And every day
they don't
more
fully
and more
agree with you, but
the
okay.
US because of this. And until it changes, we're not going back. And guess what? When you have
plenty of people leave the U.S. because they don't have access to health care, child care, right?
Yeah.
Workers' rights, unions.
Listen, I'm very well off in the U.S. I have properties that are rented in the U.S. If I wanted to live in the U.S., I would be in Naples right now. I'm not in Florida. I'm not in the U.S. because I choose not to be in the U.S. There's reasons behind that. I don't want to have my child go to school and feel like she's going to be shot in the middle of the day while I'm at work. I'm gonna.
Well, you should talk to Republicans about that one.
You don't have to worry about that in other countries.
Yeah, where they have gun control policies that Democrats are advocating for.
No, you have to sit down and analyze what's going on in the U.S. that has created all of these obstacles and all of these problems that are a hindrance to the progress of our society. That is what's happening.
That's
People
a two-party
are leaving
system.
the U.S. And I grew up in a country where guess what? We were singing God Bless America from sea to shining sea, and that no longer exists, and people want that back.
They still do that all the times in schools, and that shouldn't be done, right? I don't think we should have to go through the Pledge of Allegiance like I did as a kid. I think that's heavily ridiculous. Reese, thank you for the $5 on Cash App, and Diane, thank you for the $36.66 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Diane. Diane in the comment section. Thank you so much, Diane. I really appreciate that. Can you let me finish saying thank you? Can you let me finish saying thank you? Diane, thank you.
You act like my 16-year-old son is what you act like.
How did I act like your 16-year-old? Because I said thank you to someone who donated to me? Cry about it.
No, you're talking over people while I'm trying to express my opinion.
I waited till you were done, and then I said thank you.
All right, so here's the situation.
What? You were actually talking over me saying thank you.
Okay, well, my apologies. Here's the situation, Parker. I'm sure that other people feel the same way I do, and that's why they're going to vote for Trump. And here's another thing. You keep bringing up that he's a molester, that he's a sexual offender. Listen, that voice note or whatever it is that you have about this young girl, I'm going to date her that was him speaking and saying something. We have videos of Biden literally groping little girls while they're on stage with him, and mothers pulling them away from him.
Wait, can you show me the video?
They feel uncomfortable.
Wait, can you show me the video?
Look it up. Listen.
Wait, no. I know. I would love to see the video. Can you show me?
Give you a minute to look it up on Google.
No. Ida, do you have a second device?
I do not. Not right now. I'm outside on my porch having some fresh air in front of the ocean. So
I would love to see these videos. I've heard these claims. I'd love to see the video of him specifically groping. Can I finish my point?
Go ahead.
I'd love to see the video of him specifically doing that, 1 and 2. We actually have legitimate court evidence that Trump did this. He's a proven sexual abuser. He was held liable for sexual abuse and for defamation.
But you're talking about a 10-year-old. Running Miss Universe.
Wait, Ida, you're misunderstanding. That was a separate claim. There's a separate claim that when he was talking to the 10-year-old, he literally asked them if they were going up the escalator, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to be dating them in 10 years," when they were 10 years old. Okay. Nicholas, thank you for the $20 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Nicholas. Nicholas, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
So if you go on YouTube, you can find Biden touching girls compilation.
Yeah. Can you please show me the video specifically?
Well, I don't have a second device right now, and I'm just saying this is where you can find it. Where the girls,
pull it up right now. Greg, thank you so much for the Zodiac wheel. Thank you so much, Greg. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man.
You can actually feel the girl. You can actually see the girls who feel uncomfortable. Well, there's no reason why a man should be touching or groping a young girl that way. It's just not even in public. It's weird. It's weird. Point blank.
Yeah. So
Biden groping children compilation.
Yeah. So
I mean,
the one I see is literally Biden talking into his grandchild's ear.
Nope, there's a young girl in a red dress who's definitely not related to him. There's another.
I don't see the young girl in the red dress one. You'd have to show me that one. I looked up specifically what you just said. The first thing that comes up is this from 4 years ago of him literally just like taking a picture with someone and then literally hugging them.
This is from 3 years ago, and the person.
So I don't see which one.
Biden touching girls compilation, raw C-SPAN footage.
Yeah, Biden touching
girls compilation, raw C-SPAN footage. I'm just saying, because you brought it up, I'm just like, nobody here is free of accusations, because the accusations with him have also been kind of weird. Also, being a Latina who supports Latinos for Trump, I want to let you know, Trump is not racist. I'm not sure where you guys where that's coming from.
He absolutely is, but wait, let's look at the video.
Okay.
He's talking to her. That's his grandkid, you know that, right?
There's other people that are.
That's the first one I see so far. Is that a video of him groping someone?
No, that's not the video.
Okay, so this is literally the video that you told me to look up. This is the title, okay? So I have one question, right? Are you comparing that to Trump's being a proven sexual abuser? Him literally just talking to his grandkid?
No, because this is what I'm going to tell you.
I'm pretty sure he kissed her on like the forehead or something.
This is what I'm going to tell you.
Rip Dean, everyone. Let me see what happened to Dean, y'all. I'll text him.
This is what I'm going to tell you. The fact that you said he was walking into women's dressing rooms when he was, owner of Miss Universe or whatever the case is. First of all, you have to be 18 and older to be in Miss Universe. And I mean, I don't
He's
agree
walking
with
into
people
rooms where
walking into-
18-year-olds are changing.
No, I
Dean got a
don't agree.
permanent ban, by the way, everyone. Holy shit.
Who?
Dean,
Who
my
got a
friend
permanent
Dean.
ban?
My friend Dean.
Oh.
People have been dealing with bans. I'm on my 6th account right now.
Okay, so let's move on from that because it's a situation where neither of them are okay. Going to the abortion situation, here's you have to know a little bit about international relations and what happens in other countries because.
Oh, by the way, it was a teen one. By the way,
a teen what? Pregnancy?
It was a teen. Not beauty pageant. It was Miss Teen USA. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he owned Miss Universe. I wasn't aware he was involved in Miss Teen USA.
Or Miss Teen Universe. It might be that. Something like that. Wait, that's definitely something crazy, right? 1, 2. He's been held liable for sexual abuse. Do you agree that he's a proven sexual abuser?
I have not seen footage of him molesting girls.
No, I'm not saying footage. He's a proven sexual abuser in the context of a civil court.
If they have footage, then I'll believe it. I've never seen footage of Trump sexually abusing anybody.
I'm not saying footage. He was held liable by a jury of his peers. Okay. He claimed that he wouldn't have sexually. Adriana, thank you so much for the $2.50. He claimed that he wouldn't have engaged in sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll because she's quote unquote not his type. And then also in a deposition mistook E. Jean Carroll for his ex-wife, the person who was proven to have sexually abused with his ex-wife. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. So apparently she looks similar enough to his ex-wife for him to mistake. So apparently she looks similar enough to his ex-wife that he's going to mistake the two. But then she's also not his type, and that's why he wouldn't have sexually abused.
Let me ask you a question.
What did I just say?
Prince Andrew.
Ida, if you can't answer me what I just said, I'm going to mute you. Okay? What did I just say?
90%
What did I just say, Ida?
Have sexual abuse.
Okay, I'm going to tell you one more time, okay? Trump claimed that he would not have sexually abused E. Jean Carroll because she was quote-unquote not his type. But then in a deposition, mistook E. Jean Carroll for his ex-wife. So she looks similar enough to his ex-wife insofar as that he's going to mistake the two, but at the same time claims that he would not have sexually abused her because she's quote-unquote not his type. That's him manipulating and lying to you right in front of you. Okay. Do you care about that? I didn't mean to send the camera thing. You can unmute, by the way. Just click the microphone.
I do not care about that because it doesn't talk to me about his policies and what he's doing for the country.
So if he was a rapist, would you still vote for him?
He's not a rapist.
I'm asking you, if he was held liable for grape, would you still vote for him?
Have 90% of politicians been held liable for what they've done? More than 90% of politicians,
No.
including Bill Clinton, amongst many other.
I'm asking. Can you answer my question specifically? Ida, I'm about to mute you until you literally answer my question.
Then I'll hang up because I can't.
Okay,
I
hang
can't
up.
continue to argue with.
Hang up. Yeah, I'm
Literally.
not 12. I'm not acting 12. You're literally not answering my questions.
Because I'm telling you what the situation is. 90% of politicians
I'm not answering my questions.
have these accusations. Are you talking about them
I'm not
as
just
well?
talking about accusations, and I will talk
Please,
about them.
Let's talk about Prince Andrew. Let's talk about Bill Clinton.
Okay.
Let's talk about
Okay.
all these people who've been to Epstein Island.
Okay, I'm against all of that.
All right.
Let's talk about how Trump called him a terrific guy and that he likes beautiful women as much as he does. A lot of them on the younger
Do you
side.
like beautiful women or beautiful men, whatever your preference is?
I don't say that I like beautiful women on the younger side in reference to a person that had a literal child sex trafficking ring.
Listen, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you because you didn't listen to what I just said. Okay, he called specifically Epstein a terrific guy and that he likes beautiful women as much as he does. A lot of them on the younger side. That's a guy that has run a child sex trafficking ring, one of the most well-known ones. Okay.
I know what a sex trafficking ring is. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and that's why I'm not living in the U.S. Puff
Can you
Daddy
respond to what I just said?
is a well-known artist. Another pedophile who's on the
Wait, Ida, can you tell me what I just said?
I'm just telling you, I don't think Trump is a pedophile.
Hey, tell me what I just said.
What did you say? Trump is not a pedophile. I mean, I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Okay. If you don't listen to what I say, I can't have a conversation with you. I don't know
told
why
you-
this is so hard for you to realize that
No,
you
what-
are not
what-
having a conversation with me. You did not come on my platform to have a legitimate conversation to grow. You came
No,
on
I
my
came on this
platform
platform
to
to tell
say
you why I'm
shit
voting
without
for
listening. Okay. You're literally
No, I
currently
came on
doing it
this
right now.
platform.
Do I
You
need to mute
asked
you?
me why I'm
do
voting
I,
for
Ida,
Trump. I'm
do I need to
telling-
mute you every single time I speak? Answer the question. Do I
Listen,
have to?
You can do whatever you'd like. This is your
I will
platform.
have to do that if you don't let me actually engage. If you don't
do
engage
what
with
you
anything
need
I
to
have to
do,
say.
buddy. Do what you need to do. I
But
mean,
if you
I'm
don't answer
telling
anything
you,
I have to say, if you don't engage with me, I have to.
what do you want me to tell you? I told you we're not talking about Trump's policies. You haven't asked me why I want to vote for him. You literally have not asked me about why I think dismantling the ACA would actually be a good decision. How that would be a tax break for many businesses and people who have to pay higher taxes, because why people would go to jail if they don't have
No, it's
health
not
insurance.
taxes. It's a mandated insurance
It's
program,
mandated. I
which
know what
actually
ACA is.
I can show you studies that indicate that it lowers costs. That's the reason why they mandated it in that way, was because it actually lowers costs in the long run. I understand that it goes against what people would want to do as it relates to that because it fines people, but it literally reduces costs as it relates to that. There's studies that indicate that, economics-based
Okay.
studies that indicate that.
There's-
One. Two, I argue for Medicare for all. I want to go further than this, but this literally insures tens of millions of Americans.
Okay. Taxes have gone up. They went up when the ACA went into effect. And several new taxes were passed in law to help pay for ACA. Do you know that? Including taxes on medical devices and pharmaceutical taxes? Yeah.
The issue is,
Taxes were increased for
Wait,
people
wait,
with
wait.
high
Yeah.
incomes.
yeah, so?
Okay. So do you think that's okay?
Yeah,
You think that's okay?
yes.
So maybe you need to live in Cuba.
What? Me saying I want to increase taxes on rich people to pay for things that basic middle class citizens need is not a crazy thing to say. If you look at Scandinavian countries, they have more human freedom, they have more social freedom, that's what I'm referencing, and they have more economic freedom. Along with that, they also have greater social safety nets. They have broader access to healthcare, broader access to childcare, broader access to education, broader access to vacation time and paid paternity leave and maternity leave. They have broader access to environmental and workers' rights. They have broader access to things that the middle class needs. Appreciate the dollar.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
If people are working,
Thank you so much, Savannah. I know there's no update on that,
These business owners already give these people health insurance. So why do the wealthy need to be taxed to pay for people's health insurance? And then business owners get out of it
because
like that.
because it reduces costs. One, two, it provides people with access to healthcare. Because if we just tie it to employment, when
It would
people are in a
destroy
recession,
jobs.
stop talking. When people
It
are
would
in a,
destroy jobs.
no, it doesn't. Countries around the world have had universal healthcare systems and has not destroyed their jobs, right? Specifically, if you want to reference this, right, it would actually make it so that people wouldn't have their healthcare tied to employment. So in recessionary periods, more people would have access to healthcare, right? They wouldn't lose their healthcare because they lost their job.
It didn't work. It was a disaster. There's a ton of technical problems when it was launched, and it was difficult for people to enroll, and there were delays.
Well, I'm not saying that there weren't any issues, but what I'm saying is that tens of millions of people more,
who do you know that was
tens of millions of people more were given access to healthcare in this country, which is a good thing. Do I think it's the best thing possible? No, but I do think that it is better than nothing. Okay.
Yeah, and the reason for that person who said I don't even live there, along with 4.1 million Americans who have left the U.S. because of the disaster our country has become. That's why we don't live there. And yes, we do go back, and I have very well invested my funds in the U.S., okay? The reason why we're not there is because I don't want my kid to be shot in the middle of the day. And I don't need them brainwashed in school either, along with many other people who feel the same way, okay?
Wait, if you don't mind me asking, what country did you go to?
But I'm not going to disclose that information.
That's
I'd
fine.
like to
That's
keep my
fine.
information private.
Yeah, that's completely fine. Because I was just going to see if the same things were applicable. Because if you went to like a country in Europe, right, a lot of those things are taught in Europe. If you know that. And also, right, if you're so patriotic, why wouldn't you want to make America better? Rather than leaving. Hello? You cut out. Ida, you're not there. Hello? Oh, did she leave? Dominican Republic? Okay, I don't know why she wouldn't say it if it's little in her bio. Hello? Hello? Ida's not there anymore, everyone. Can y'all hear her? Because I can't hear her at all. Do tap that screen, everyone. Let's run it up to 200 or to 500,000 likes, everyone. If you want to help get out to more people, everyone, share the live, y'all. We're going to start getting some people up here in a second. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. Yelitsa, how old are you?
What was that? How old am I?
Yeah, you seem old enough. Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Oh, absolutely.
Why so?
Well, I mean, why would a logical person not vote for Trump? So I sit here and I
can give you a reason.
Well, I know. I'm sure you probably could. You're on Adderall, fucked up, and spouting out stuff to these young women.
I'm not on Adderall at all.
No, all right. Let me put this out there. I debate people like you every night. Me and Harry go back and forth probably 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, you guys are like a replica, like a model of the same person. You guys say the same things.
No, we don't. If you've been on this on live where me and Harry are co-hosting, you'll see some of the differences, right? He's a lot more pro-Biden than I am, right? I definitely critique the Democratic Party significantly more, right? We have disagreements as it relates to policy. I'm a lot more pro-Bernie than he is.
Well, absolutely.
Right? I'm a lot more progressive.
No, that I'll agree with. But there's no real policy differences except you're just a little bit farther left.
Yeah, there definitely are policy differences as it relates to Medicare for all, as it relates to climate change, as it relates to paid paternity, maternity leave, as it relates to childcare, as it relates to student loan debt, as it relates to plenty of things, right? There are plenty of disagreements that I would have with mainstream Democrats in terms of their establishment beliefs.
But Harry, no, I mean, I agree that that's what you think and you believe. And in a perfect world, yeah, that would be great. But the fact is, you and Harry believe the same thing. Harry just wants what you want.
You also want to know something crazy? I've been doing these lives before Harry. I told Harry to do these things, and I do other topics that Harry doesn't do. Harry only does politics.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you guys are a dime a dozen. You guys are like fit in the same mold. You guys just have.
So we just have similar beliefs. So you have similar beliefs to other Trump supporters. What's your point?
Well, my beliefs are not. I would say I'm going to vote for Trump. I wouldn't say that I'm a red hat wearing MAGA supporter. Although
wait, I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm voting for Biden because he's a better alternative. But I still think he's a piece of shit.
He's not a better alternative. He's not a.
He
better
absolutely is a better alternative. He's not a proven sexual abuser. He's not a proven fraudster. He hasn't been lying about the election for the past few years, undermining our American democracy. He didn't call for 83% of taxes to go to the top 1%, which led to higher after-tax income for the top 1%, for the top 0.1% for the highest quintile, and lower after-tax income for the lowest quintile for the middle class. He didn't call specifically for it to be illegal to burn the American flag and that you should go to prison. He didn't call for a death penalty, which 4% of people on death row are innocent. He didn't call specifically for Roe versus Wade to be overturned, which led to 13-year-olds in this country being forced to go through pregnancies.
Okay, cool. That was great. All right, now let me speak. So E. Jean Carroll sued him civilly, and it wasn't whether he actually, because if you actually look on the verdict sheet, I know like liberals, like you don't like things and facts and stuff like that, but if you look on the verdict, at the actual verdict sheet, I actually would ask, I know you're laughing because you know. So go Google, just Google.
You said I don't like facts, but all I mentioned was facts.
Oh, that's fine. We'll just let me speak then. But if you actually, facts are to you like what water is to fucking a puddle. It's nothing. Literally, if you look at the verdict sheet, if you look at the actual verdict sheet, they said he was not found liable for sexual assault. He was found liable for telling her,
No, if you looked at the verdict sheet, it said he wasn't held liable for rape and he was held liable for sexual abuse. I clarified, right? I can show you the sheet if you'd like to see it.
But first of all, you're wrong because it's a.
No, I'm not. You want to put money on it? How much?
$50.
Okay, $50.
Because it's a civil suit. $50.
I said it's civil. I already agreed it's civil. Right, so
yeah, it's a civil suit. So it doesn't make him liable for rape.
Hold up.
You can't get liable.
I never said he was. Listen. I'm saying he was held liable for sexual abuse. Okay, 50. You want to put $50 on it?
He's liable for the slander. Right? He is liable for the slander. And that's
also defamation. $50 on it?
He's liable
for sexual abuse.
Yes.
Okay, $50. Okay, now let me pull it up and show you. My Cash App and Venmo's in my bio, by the way. You should already just start
So is
typing
mine.
it in.
So is mine.
Yeah, you should already start typing it in.
Yeah, I've already done this because I've already been on lives with Tara Reid, Juanita Broderick, Laura Loomer. I've already been on fucking, like this. Pull it up, man, because you're gonna make yourself look really dumb.
No, I'm not.
You are, because you can't be found liable for rape or sexual assault.
I said sexual abuse. I said sexual abuse.
Yes. Okay, you're right. Sexual abuse. You cannot be found liable for sexual abuse in a civil matter, no matter what you want, no matter what
Yes,
you
you
say.
can. Look.
Yep. Mr. Carroll, by evidence of.
Can you read
Mr.
number 2, please?
Mr. Trump sexually abused Miss Carroll. Yes. Okay. So he's not.
Cash
he's
App,
still
Venmo in the bio.
He's not liable, but you're not understanding.
Really?
The fact.
Really not liable? What does it say it there? 2 million?
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't.
Wait.
matter.
What does it say there?
I already
Verdict
told you.
form. Sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. Millions
Listen.
of dollars. And if you scroll down further, you can see a lot of them more. He had to pay $5 million for sexual abuse overall.
So you have you just don't fundamentally understand how the criminal and civil justice system works. First of all,
What does it say? What does it say?
Okay.
Sexually
put that-
abused E. Jean Carroll. Okay. You owe me
Okay.
$50.
Before-
Cash App, Venmo, and bio.
Before you make yourself look even dumber, because
Because I'm the one that looks dumb right now.
first of all, there has never in the history of criminal justice has somebody been held civilly responsible for sexual assault.
For sexual abuse, yes, they have.
No, they haven't. Because you
Didn't
can't.
Bill Cosby get held liable? Pretty sure they had a mustache. Thank you so much. O.J. Simpson?
Yeah, it was criminal.
No,
It was
those were civil courts.
It was not. O.J. Simpson was not accused of sexual assault in criminal court.
Sexual abuse.
Sexual abuse. O.J. Simpson was not. Bill Cosby.
I'm pretty sure
I
he
know
was.
Personally,
It might not be OJ. I could be wrong on that, but I
Not
definitely
OJ.
know the
OJ
first
was-
one is. I think Cosby's applicable.
Okay, Bill Cosby originally.
Kevin Spacey.
So now Bill Cosby originally. Well, no, you can sue somebody for damages, but that doesn't mean that it happened.
Oh, he was. I think he was cleared actually. Kevin Spacey.
But if you look at Bill Cosby's case, he originally did a case where there was a bunch of NDAs, so nobody actually knows what was in the case. So a bunch of women. I think there was.
Oh, by the way, the Venmo's in my bio. Everyone, for people asking, it's Parker COL. If you want to look it up.
And if you want to talk, like what I actually wanted to explain was in the specifics of the case, right? You, Harry, and all these guys, and this is the main point that I wanted to make. You guys will
Dean's
bring
Main
this
just
up.
got a perm ban again. Everyone.
You guys will bring this up that E. Jean Carroll, because I watched from start to finish the entire civil trial, right? Or at least read the transcripts and matched what I could with what they had. E. Jean Carroll didn't know within a 10-year period when it happened. Now, if you want to take that and say, okay, maybe she didn't know within a decade.
Wait, so this is completely different. You owe me the $50 because he was held liable.
But he wasn't, because he's still in a.
He was held liable. He actually was held liable. I
He's
just showed you.
Yeah, but he's appealing it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, so that you're now you're moving the goalpost. Okay, you still owe me the $50.
Okay, cool. So, but what I'm saying is,
Cash App, Venmo, and bio.
yep. So what I'm saying is, you
How
don't
much?
like.
What are the odds you actually pay?
Well, you don't like the fact that Donald Trump is not held liable because his case is not out of court yet. His case is still being argued between a 5-judge panel. So they're still going to find out whether this is
No,
even
but he
gonna be
was held
upheld.
liable.
But he hasn't been yet.
He
because
has been held liable.
He has not. Listen, dude. Are you like that mental of a midget? Like, do you not
Yeah,
have?
of course you're gonna use
general-
slurs, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
No, but do you not have?
Why are
a
you using
general-
slurs? Why are you using slurs?
What slur did I use?
The M word?
Mental?
No.
That's what I said.
No, the other word you're
Legit.
referring to. Yeah, that's a slur. You should not be using that. Don't use that.
Okay. If that's a slur, if somebody takes offense to that, then I apologize. I didn't think it was a slur. I have friends that consider themselves that. But anyway, so what you don't understand is that a court case is not over until it's settled and finally settled. And the defendant, in this case, decides to stop appealing it. It's before a 5-judge panel because it was a circus of a court. E. Jean Carroll did not know within a 10-year period when
Okay,
this.
can you just acknowledge that he literally did get held liable? One,
He did
two.
not
Again,
get
not
held
knowing when it happened is completely legitimate, right?
The
There are
other
plenty of
judge,
people
juvenile-
that don't. Wait, there are plenty of people that don't know what happened. I know people specifically. I have friends that it's happened to them, and they wouldn't know specifically.
Okay, I understand that, and I do too, and I do as well. I actually work with women. I don't know if you've ever watched the Netflix documentary, The Program. It's a very popular documentary. It's actually the most popular documentary on Netflix right now. I actually work with a lot of the survivors that are in that documentary, a lot of the young women, and I'm actually working with the second part series to that documentary. So I know a little bit about trauma and sexual assault and things like that. Now, it's one thing to be like, look, I don't know the day, the time, or the hour. I know a general thing, but to not know within a decade, a 10-year period, when it happened is absurd.
That can happen after decades of things happening. Okay,
And
I
it's
think that's
also-
completely legitimate. And for you to say that it didn't happen because of this, I think is ridiculous.
Okay, well, I am saying I don't think it happened. What I'm also saying is
Yeah,
that,
I know you are saying that, and I don't think you have sufficient proofs for that.
Okay, so my question to you then, right, it'll probably be the final question is, Tara Reid knows the day, the time, and the hour that she got raped by Joe Biden when he was a senator, and then you also have Juanita Broderick, who knows the date.
You got hate speech and hateful behaviors, bro. I have to go on to the next person. Dude, I get banned too. I'm literally on a 6th account. My main account's banned for a week right now. But yeah, Tara Reid hasn't gone through the context of a court system. 1, 2. She also perjured herself in court. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App in the bio, everyone, because he's not going to send me that 50. You already know it. And Leah, thank you so much for the $35 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Leah. I appreciate that. W Leah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. W Leah in the comment section. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, how's it going?
For sure. Will you vote for Trump in 2024?
No, I just wanted to correct the guy before you. I would never vote for Trump. I'm not that stupid. But the guy before you is dead wrong. You were completely right. When a jury finds you liable, you are liable. He just kept saying, oh, but it's on appeal. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, that doesn't change
That's
liability.
why, exactly. It's just frustrating when there's morons. So, hey, thanks
I get you.
for
Appreciate
your
you
great
coming up.
live. Have a good one.
You as well. You as well. Let's get the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. Everyone, keep tapping that screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm 20, but I just had a question. How do you feel about
You cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you feel about Jasmine Sherman
Don't know who that is.
running as a third party? She's a
Third parties can't make it, but appreciate you coming up.
Okay, thank.
Let's go to the next person, everyone. Third parties have no chance in America. If you want third parties to have a chance, you have to have ranked choice voting, which actually would legitimize third parties in the U.S., but they're currently not able to win. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
28.
For sure. Will you vote for Trump in 2024?
I believe so.
Okay, why so?
Because a lot of his beliefs match mine.
Like what?
How I believe that every working American should get what they deserve, and
Really?
I agree with that 100%.
Okay. Can you name one policy that Trump influenced to get passed that benefited the middle class?
Yeah, he lowered my taxes when he was in office.
So the Tax Cut and Jobs Act from 2017 to
Did you hear what I said?
2027.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Okay, he lowered my taxes. That's
Can I
good enough for
respond?
me. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, the Tax Cut and Jobs Act from 2017 to 2027, where it actually led to lower after-tax income for the lowest quintile, the middle class, and it led to higher after-tax income for the highest quintile, the top 1% and the top 0.1%. So actually, right, you might think that it specifically lowered your taxes then, but over the entirety of the tax policy through 2027, you actually get less money if you are part of the middle class or the lowest quintile.
And that's fine. If that comes to be, that comes to be. But until that happens, until I see that, I'm not going to believe that. I'm sorry, but it hasn't happened
Well, you're
yet.
currently under Trump's tax policy, and I can send you the Brookings report on this specifically.
Okay, you can send me
this is a
whatever- you can
fact.
s- you can
It's
send me
from
whatever-
it's from an analysis of the Tax Policy Center and the Joint Committee on Taxation.
And I understand that completely. But what you're not hearing is what I'm saying. That hasn't happened yet. And since Biden got in office, mine and my wife's taxes have gone up. So
Hey,
until
if you know how tax policy works, you'd know you're still under Trump tax policy. Sorry to break it to you.
so
This is still Trump tax policy, so your taxes going up, that was Trump's tax policy.
so Trump's tax policy
made your taxes go up. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Show me that.
Again, the Brookings report specifically. I'll pull it up for you right now.
Show me it.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Give me 1 second. Oh no, but sorry, it's bringing up
Oh.
No, it was bringing up the Brooks. Sorry.
Oh well.
The
That's
middle
a picture of
class.
Trump.
The middle
Where's
class needs a
where's the
tax cut. Trump didn't give it to them.
Where's
right?
the
That is the title. Here's the thing from the distributional analysis.
Okay.
Right here. Oh, sorry, I'm Xing out something.
Right.
This is from the
Okay.
Tax Policy Center.
So by 2012. Okay. Well, once again, that's when Trump was in office, my taxes were lower. So
Yeah. Trump's tax policy increased your taxes. It's still under Trump tax policy.
So wait
Look.
a minute. So if Trump's tax policy is raising my taxes, then why hasn't Biden done anything to stop it?
Because that's legislative branch. It's based upon influence, and Biden's done as much as he can to get rid of those things and improve the child tax credit, which he has.
So
he can only do so much.
He's the president.
Yeah, I understand, but president doesn't conduct all policy.
Oh wait, but wait, you just said that. But Trump can affect taxes for the next 10 years.
Yeah, he can influence to get passed. That was his main tax
But
policy
Biden
that he wanted to
can't-
get
Biden
passed.
can't get that,
And
but
actually,
Biden
by the way,
can't lower those?
you were the one that claimed that he got the tax policy passed, not me.
I didn't say that.
You did that. You
when
did say
Trump
that.
was in
I
office,
asked
my
you. I
taxes
asked
were
you for
lower.
one policy that Trump
I
got passed.
said-
I asked you for one
Parker,
policy that I asked you for one
Parker.
I asked you for one policy that Trump got passed that influenced the middle class in a positive light, and that's what you gave.
Parker, you asked me why I'm voting for Trump.
No,
I
I asked you specific. No, I asked you what's one policy that Trump helped get passed. I appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. That actually benefited the middle class. That's what I asked you.
I personally, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know specifically, but what I'm telling you that I'm voting for Trump because what he did.
You can't give me one policy that benefited the middle class?
What he did and what he believes benefits me and my family.
Yo, hello. Thank you so much for the perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That's the whole point of your spiel.
Okay. So if there was a person who's advocating for slavery for people to be owned by you specifically because it benefits you, would you support it?
I'm sorry. Ask that one more time.
Yeah, if there was a policy that gave you access to being able to own slaves legally because it would benefit you in this country, would you support it?
Absolutely not.
Just because something benefits you doesn't mean it's a good reason to support it. So can you give me any reason to support this?
Wait a minute. So I shouldn't. So wait a minute. I don't. So what you just told me is.
Yeah, just because something benefits you doesn't mean it's good policy, right? So can you give me a good reason to support this? Because again, I told you it leads to lower after-tax income for the lowest quintile, the middle class, lower for both of those, and higher for the highest quintile, the top 1% and the top 0.1%. So it's literally Robin Hood for the rich. Take money from the poor, give it to the rich. Yo, Alexander, thank you for the $20.24. Thank you so much, Alexander. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Once again, it's what the point of your spiel here is why I'm voting for Trump is because he is doing. I don't care what he's doing for other people. He's doing better for me and my family, and he's giving me a better opportunity to support me and my family.
Not over the entire tax policy, because if you're a part of the middle
When
class,
that happens,
are you a
I
part
will
of the
no
middle
longer
class or
support
the
Trump.
lowest quintile?
When that happens, I will no longer support Trump.
Are you said your taxes went up? That's still tax policy for Trump.
Once again, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying what you're asking me. I'm voting for Trump because he believes in what I believe.
Yeah, but the tax policy increased your taxes.
He believes in making my life. When he was in office, my life was easier.
Are you part of the middle class?
I'm not really 100% sure if I am or not.
Okay, so if you are part of the middle class, then literally Trump decreased, right, how much you're going to be getting, right? He decreased after-tax income for the middle class, okay? That effectively increased your taxes. The tax increase that you saw during the past few years, that was not Biden, that was Trump.
Now, mind you, I did switch careers at the point, but when I was
That's also important.
when I was at my job previously, I was there for 10 years. I was there when Obama was in office, and I was there when Trump was in office. Within months of Trump being in office, I was getting so much more money coming into my household because of less taxes. That's why
Wait, Trump's tax policy didn't go into effect right away.
It was when Trump was in office. That's what matters.
Wait, like right when he got into office?
No, I said months afterwards.
Okay. So again, right, if you want to relate to this, I literally am showing you a distributional analysis. You can sit here and deny reality and deny facts all you want, but this is what the facts say.
Okay, well, when that becomes fact, and
it's not becomes fact, it already is fact. Okay.
Well, no, you said by 2027
I'm saying the analysis from 2017 to 2027 shows this overall, but it's already started to occur.
Okay. So this is just another reason why I like Trump, or because I'm voting. I don't necessarily, now mind you, I'm just like you. I don't like Trump. I'm not a red hat MAGA Republican. I consider myself an independent. I support whoever has my beliefs in common.
Yeah, and again, it seems like you can't even really mention what is going to be beneficial that Trump supports. And if you can't mention that, then like, why are you voting for him? Is it that he's a proven sexual abuser? Is it that he's a proven fraudster? Is it that he denies fair and democratic election? Is it that he gives money from rich people from poor people? Is it that he calls for the death penalty, which leads to 4% of people in death row dying that are innocent? Is it because he calls for a lack of freedom as it relates to the context of putting people in prison for burning the American flag, for literally making it illegal to get access to gender affirming care as an adult, for people literally to have less access to health care through the context of health insurance policy because he wants to repeal the ACA, but he's shown no effective plan to replace it? Like nothing that actually benefits people.
So what has Biden done that's helping me?
Yeah, so the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Build Back Better, American Rescue Plan, the infrastructure bill, right? All of these things benefit people, right? They create jobs in America, right? They invest in substitutes for gas through renewable energy. They provide significantly greater access to funding for American businesses to be able to produce and maintain supply long term, like supply chains, cleaner air, clear water through environmental regulations and policies, right? Plenty of things.
Environmental, all that, I guess.
Yeah, like the CAFE standards that Trump tried to get rid of that specifically made it so that each particular type of firm that sells cars specifically have to have a particular average mileage that they're selling. So essentially it increases the fuel efficiency of cars, which makes us use less gas and increases the supply of oil in the United States, therefore making it that gas is less costly.
Okay. So this is actually interesting. I would like to ask you an interesting question. You said you don't fully support Biden, but you think he's the better.
Yeah.
He how long has he been in politics?
Like 40 years.
So why is he doing this all now?
Because he's president. He's one of the, I mean, he's passed some of the most legislation out of any politician. There's public records on the legislation that they influence to get passed or that their name is a part of. And if you look at him specifically, he's passed some of the most legislation out of any person in American history. Okay.
Well, like
so to
what?
say that he hasn't passed policy, I think is ridiculous.
Like what?
I'm not going to be able to name everything off for you, but I've already mentioned a few things that he helped influence to get passed in the context of the presidency.
I think you know what I'm talking about, the big one.
If you're going to talk about the crime bill, I definitely am against the crime bill. He says that he thinks that was bad, right, and that he's against it now. But that was a bipartisan bill that was supported by most Democrats and most Republicans at the time.
Okay, and that's fine. And you say that you don't support that at all, correct?
No, I don't.
So why did you vote for Biden if you don't support that?
There are certain things I don't support of Biden. There's certain things I don't support of Trump. I'm saying that there are more things of Trump. I'm saying there are more things of Trump that I don't support than of Biden.
Okay, that's fine. But you're telling me because of a few things that I don't agree with Trump that I'm a terrible person? I don't think you're terrible because
the proven sexual abuser, proven fraudster, election denier. These things are worse.
How does any of that have to do with policy in the country?
It relates to, again, how they influence policy, right? How they influence voters in this country that then can impact policy in the
So
future.
that kind of stuff influences policy, really?
Yes, absolutely. It
In what
influences policy under his and policy in the future.
And
by getting particular types of people to vote for this type of legislation in the future, by influencing this character in the American public because he's literally a president of the United States, influencing this character in the context of Congress because he gets votes for having this particular character. Plenty of things that we would consider detrimental towards policy in the future and policy now in the context of the United States.
So you're telling me
his
the
election
sexual- so
denial
you're telling me
obviously relates to policy because then
So
that
you're
would
telling me
reduce the
sexual
effectiveness
preference
of
a man
policy.
is affecting his, it will be effective in his
Yeah,
policy?
us voting for a sexual abuser can impact policy in the future because it reduces the accountability of politicians for engaging in bad and violent behavior.
But it's okay to vote for a guy that basically held the flag and led the way to lock up millions of African Americans, right?
So again, this specifically
no
was a
reason.
bipartisan bill supported by both Republicans and Democrats, right?
That's so.
Okay, so this was supported by a majority of Congress at that time.
So
to
it's
only
okay. So
attribute
it's
this
not okay
specifically to
vote for
Biden
Trump
is
because of
ridiculous,
sexual
and especially
abuse,
since
but
he's
it's
gone
okay
against
to
these
vote
things.
for Biden when he locked up millions of African Americans for no reason. And come on,
Again, I've literally already addressed this. And again, if you're going to talk about this, the crime bill specifically, you wouldn't say millions, but you'd say hundreds of thousands, right, of people right across the board, right? And that was, again, not good policy, right? And I disagree with that, right? But
and I disagree with Trump being.
But again, as it relates to
disagree
what's
with-
going to be
I disagree
implemented,
with the sexual preferences of everything that's happened with Donald Trump. But
it's not just sexual preferences. It's literally him abusing a woman. Okay.
And I don't agree with that.
Okay.
But
And
that has
do you
nothing to
think
do
that
with
he
his
should be in?
policy.
It does have to do with it. I just told
In
you
what
what
way?
it has to do with it.
In
Because
what way?
Because it influences the character of future politicians. It influences the character of future presidents. It influences the
okay, so
character.
what's the
It
fault?
influences the character of people in the context of our voter base that are then voting for politicians, which all impacts the future policy that exists in this country.
Okay, so can you show me where you got that crystal ball? Because I would love one.
Yeah, that didn't indicate a crystal ball.
You're telling me stuff you think is going to happen. It's not proven.
No, I'm telling you what is literally happening right now. I'm observing facts of reality.
Once again, you're saying that his sexual
They're not holding him accountable for being a sexual abuser, which then sets precedents for a lack of accountability for other types of politicians.
You're literally
And for
saying what you
similar
think is
character
gonna
in
happen.
other politicians.
You cannot prove that that's going to happen.
What? Yes, I absolutely can.
Go ahead.
Because if we continually continue these types of things in our culture, it leads to a culture of a lack of accountability. We've seen this in the context of the patriarchy. When people make claims, boys will be boys, that reduces accountability. Look at Matt Gaetz, right? Look at Republican politicians that have engaged in similar types of behaviors, right? There's plenty of things I can reference.
You mean
right?
like Bill Clinton?
Bill, that wasn't that consensual, one, and two. I'd also argue that Bill Clinton isn't someone I would vote for either.
Okay, but once again, this is something that you in your opinion cannot prove.
You just keep saying that, and I actually gave you a response to this already. I think it's disingenuous for you to not acknowledge what I said and for you to say the same
I'm
damn
acknowledging
bullshit.
it, but I'm telling you that I just simply don't believe what
What did I say?
Your words.
What did I say?
I'm not believing you because of your words, because you don't know
what reasoning
you don't
did I?
know, you don't know what
Hey.
the sexual what the
Hey,
sexual
what reasoning did I give?
You once again you don't you saying that doesn't make it true.
What reasoning did I give?
You were naming off things, okay?
Like what?
You were
You
naming
see how
off
you didn't
things.
listen?
Go ahead, say it again.
So again, it's going to influence the character, right, of future politicians because they see that it's acceptable for politicians to
Where
act
has
this
that happened in
way.
the future?
Can I
Where has
finish?
that happened in the past?
Can I finish?
Where has that happened in the past?
I've actually already said this, but if you didn't listen,
Where has that happened
you're
in
not
the
going to hear it. I'm going to mute you if you don't listen, okay? Because I just explained this. It has happened in the past throughout the context of things, for example, the patriarchy, right? Boys will be boys, right? Has reduced accountability for, right, men as it relates to the actions that they engage in. Because they don't apply accountability to the particular people that they're referencing in that scenario, it creates a culture of a lack of accountability, right? Which this can protrude into the people that follow Trump because they follow him in a cult-like manner. It can protrude into politicians that see that they can continue to get support if they engage in this particular behavior, right? It can continue in the context of his policy as it relates to things that he is then going to implement in the future, right?
Okay. That's fine. And I understand that. I heard you and I understand that. But has he been found guilty of anything yet?
He's been held liable for sexual abuse.
That's not what I
by
asked
a jury.
That's not what I asked you.
That's guilty in the context of a civil court.
That's not guilty by a judge.
It's guilty in the context of a civil court by a jury, and the judge of that particular case said he raped her. Okay.
The judge, where did the judge say that?
The judge is very open with that. I can pull up the article for you right now if you'd like to see it. Would you like to see it?
Sure.
Okay, for sure. I got you. Give me a second. You can talk about something in the meantime.
No, I'll wait.
You're gonna sit here and just be quiet? I have a live.
I'm gonna wait for you to pull up the proof that you just said. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna say something else and let you get off topic.
I'm not gonna get off.
Go ahead. I'll wait.
Yeah, but like you understand, I'm running a live here, right? If I just sit here and I'm looking something up for like 2 minutes, there's not anything going on.
Okay, but if you were ready to prove that he was guilty and has been proven guilty by a judge, you would have already had it ready to roll.
Yeah, I can pull it up right now. I can literally show
you. Go ahead.
You.
I will wait. I will wait here all day.
Yeah, and you understand that I'm trying to run our live, so you're just being a little bit of a dickhead. Okay.
Okay. Oh wow. Wait. You slandered someone for calling you a name. You just called me a name. Why?
What? How did I slander someone? And what
you
name
just called
are you
me a
referencing?
dickhead. Why'd you call me a dickhead?
Because you're being a dickhead. Like when I'm clearly, literally referencing that. Like I want to run a live here.
So it's okay for you to call people a dickhead, but it's not okay for other people to call you names. Come on, dude.
Wait. What name did I get mad at? If someone calls me a dickhead, I'll respond to it.
That called you the M word? I've been watching your live, dude.
Yeah, if someone calls me the N word, I'm going to kick them because they said a fucking slur.
Okay, but you just called me a dickhead, but it wasn't okay for that guy
dickhead
to
is
call
not
me
a
that?
slur, dude.
Dude, a dickhead is a slur to me. Where's the
dickhead is not a slur.
Says, it doesn't say judge has found Trump guilty.
I never said. I never. Wait. I never said that. I said specifically the judge said that he did this and that he was held liable by the jury.
Until a judge convicts him of it, he's not guilty.
He was held liable for sexual abuse.
You're right. He's been held liable, but until a judge,
that was by a jury. This is what the judge said, dude. This is literally what the judge said. Well, you understand that the judge isn't the one that determines this. It would be the jury.
The judge is the one that the judge is the one that determines
jury.
whether he's guilty or innocent.
No, it's the jury.
The judge is the one that finalizes the verdict.
It's jury. Wait.
Then why hasn't the judge finalized the verdict?
It is the jury that does this because it's a civil case.
So why hasn't Trump been taken off the ballots?
Why? Okay, because this wouldn't take him off the ballot.
If you're found guilty of
if you're guilty in a civil court for sexual abuse or held liable for sexual abuse in a civil court, you can still run for president.
I'm unaware of this. Can you show me that, please?
Yeah.
Well, once again, you know more about that than I do. I was just like so you were more than welcome to show me that.
Liable and civil. Well, he's running right now, but all right, you can show this, right? CBS News did an article on this, right? Can Trump still be president if he's convicted of a crime or held liable? New York Times also did an article on this. Can Trump still run for president if he's convicted? ABC News brought experts down to say that he can still run. Same thing with The Independent, WTF News, PBS, right? The Hill.
Okay. So it seems that like a lot of your points are surrounded by this sexual abuse thing.
That was just the one point you were addressing. I've literally given like so many points. I've given like so many points, dude.
Okay, so let's bring up another point.
Okay.
This is another reason why that I don't really. Trump is for border security. He agrees with it in a way that I believe would make a difference. Just a few months ago, my governor, who is a Democrat, let out a video telling people that live in our state to allow illegal immigrants to come into our home and live there. Illegal immigrants.
Oh, okay. So what you're referencing is asylum seekers, and you're also, it's just like they asked you. Okay. And then also, if you want to do something as it relates to the border, Trump said, blame it on me if the border bill fails.
So can I finish what I was saying?
Yeah, but did you hear anything I just said?
Well, I wasn't finished. So Democrats want me to open up my home to an illegal. If you're seeking asylum, you're seeking asylum. That's not for me to deal with. It's not for me to. It's not my responsibility to open up my home to you. What I would rather open up my home to a child that's living on the street. But Democrats don't care about them.
Oh, you just got flagged for harassment and bullying, man. I got flagged for harassment and bullying too. Great, dude. Fuck TikTok. What the hell, TikTok, bro? It's actually unbelievable. But we already responded to that. So we're gonna go to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. Parker's best friend. Why would you report me? If you report me, why would you say that in my comment section? You just want to get blocked? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
How old am I?
You seem old enough. Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Yeah.
Why so?
And why? Because I believe he's a heck of a lot better than Biden. And you seem to bring up this sexual thing. Well, Biden sexually abused Tara Reid, and it was all covered up. She tried to report it and wasn't allowed. This was back in the 90s.
She perjured herself and then went to Russia.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did perjure herself. That's one thing.
No, she didn't.
Two, also, Trump has been held liable in a court, right? The
Yeah,
same thing's
he
not
was
been
held
true
liable.
for... The same
And
thing
did you also know that she went on NBC?
The same thing.
MSNBC.
Yeah, I'm going to mute you if you don't be quiet. Okay. The same thing is not true for the context of Biden. Okay. He was not held liable for sexual abuse. So I think that we have significantly more reason to believe this is applicable to Trump than to believe that this is applicable to Biden specifically.
Okay. Do you know that she went on MSNBC twice and admitted that Trump did not rape her?
Give me a source.
In 2 interviews.
Show me the interview, because that's not true.
Yeah, it is.
No, not
it's
true.
on MSNBC.
Not true. False.
360.
False. MSNBC did not report on that.
MSNBC and
MSNBC
CNN.
did not say that. No. False.
CNN too.
CNN did not say that either. False.
Yes, I'm telling you.
False.
E. Jean Carroll.
Give me the title. Give me the title of the article or the video.
The white-haired. No, the guy with
Perfect
the white
mix.
hair.
Thank you for the $20 on Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. The people I've had today are wild.
I'm trying to remember the white-haired guy that does the interviews. Vanderbilt's son.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but he interviewed.
She
did not say
Jean
that.
Carroll.
She did not say she was not raped. 1, 2. What Trump was held liable for wasn't rape; it was sexual abuse.
I know.
Okay, but the judge indicated that based upon a colloquial usage of the term grape, right, it would be defined that way. It's just under the context of the court system, the way that it's defined is not the way it's colloquially defined.
But she went on CNN and MSNBC, 2 different interviews, and said it wasn't rape.
I promise you she did not do that.
Yep.
No, she didn't. You're lying.
Well, I promise you she did. I watched the interview.
I promise you you misheard
I'm
it, or something
telling
off
you.
is there. That did not happen.
I'm telling you, I watched the interviews.
No, it
both
wouldn't.
of them.
No, that would have been submitted in the context of the courts, bro.
No,
Give
they're
me, give
gonna
me any
no,
evidence.
they're going to
Give me
use
any
it in
evidence.
the.
You're just
No,
claiming.
she did
Give
it
me any
after.
evidence.
She did it after the trial, and Alina Habba is gonna use
Give
it.
me the title. Give me the title.
I don't know what the title of the interview is.
Yeah, so go. You should go find
But
it.
I
then.
know that Alina
Because
Habba
it did
is
not
gonna
happen.
use-
That is such bullshit.
No,
Everyone here knows that didn't happen. Be so fucking for real. And for the people who are confused about my eye bags are always there. I've had them since I was a child. They're hereditary. They're genetic. And then also, if you want to support me, everyone, Venmo, Cash App in the bio. Also, everyone, tap that screen. Let's run up to 750,000 likes. Also, follow me here if you haven't already. I'm on my 6th account right now because I've been banned on my main account. Plus, my main account hasn't been sending out at all. I've been getting a following glitch. Actually, it has been sending out, but I get like 45% following in my lives. Whereas on this account, it actually does end up sending out. So that's why we have 3.5K people in here. Actually, I don't know if it is sending out because we've only had 54,000 people overall, which is still a lot of people, by the way. But that's not what we would typically see for over 3K for like most of the live. Dude, if you come back, I can't hear you right now. Is it okay if I draw you? Absolutely. Go for it. You can always do that. I didn't get a notice. Yeah, make sure to follow me here and turn on the things. Someone said you're done here, China. Unbelievable. Happy belated birthday, Parker. I appreciate that. My birthday was 2 days ago for people who were wondering. W drawing Parker. W, man. Yo, man, come back. I can't hear you, man. Come back into the app. I can't hear you currently, man. So are you voting for Biden? Yes. I don't like Biden, but he is better than Trump. Happy belated birthday. Oh, I appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it, everyone. Have you ever been to Croatia? No, not. But my girlfriend has. Thank you for the hand hearts. I appreciate it. All right, Patrick, come on, man. Come back, bro. In the meantime, I'll get someone else up here. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
What's up, brother? I'm 25.
What's up, brother? Are you gonna vote for Trump in 2024?
Yeah, I'll be voting for Trump.
And why is that, brother? Appreciate the boxing gloves. Thank you so much.
Hold up. Was that you the other day on the motivational speech?
What motivational speech?
All right, never mind. Probably the wrong person. All right, so I come across these freaking lies all the time. Like, I'm like, dude, this kid's always talking about Biden and shit. Yeah, I mean, I respect your opinion and all, whatever, you know. Of course, there's going to be the liberals out there, the Democrats, whatever you want to call it. But to be honest, dude, like, I'm a big conservative. I believe everything the right believes in. I hate Biden. I hated Obama. I think they're both horrible. Well, Obama's for another different conversation, but Biden's the worst president we've ever had.
Oh,
Honestly,
okay.
I
Worst
think-
president we've ever
honestly, I
had.
believe
So let me
ever
ask you that
had
question.
In the history of America, Biden's the worst president we've ever had. The illegals, all these
Wait,
illegals
wait,
coming into our
conspiracy.
country,
Can I ask you a question
is a
about that?
disaster. It's a disaster. These illegals coming in is a disaster.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
He's worse than Andrew Jackson?
I don't know about
Tears?
that. Whatever. It is what it is. Well, look. Let's just focus on what Biden has done compared to Trump. Let's just focus on those two.
Okay, so he wasn't the worst.
Biden-
Courtney, thank you for the $15 on Venmo.
Biden-
Thank you so much,
Biden-
Courtney. I
Biden-
appreciate it. Thank you so much, Courtney. Now, conspiracy, answer this question. What was one bad thing Biden did?
Look at all these illegals coming into the country. It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, so if you're talking about the amount of people coming to the country, what is the relevant
It's destroying
difference?
the country. It's destroying the country.
Okay. What is the relevant difference between the Trump, not the Trump, the Biden administration and the Obama administration as it relates?
Trump. Well, here's the thing.
I'm gonna
Trump's
mute
a
you.
freedom.
Okay. All right. Please be quiet, man. Right. Unbelievable. I don't know how many times more I have to ask for it. Okay. I'm still finishing the point. Right. I didn't even make the point yet. Okay. What is the relevant difference in terms of policy between the Obama administration with immigration comparative to the Biden administration with immigration? That means more immigrants are coming now comparative to Obama's administration. You can unmute.
What are you trying to ask? I don't understand your question.
What is the relevant difference in terms of immigration policy between the Obama and the Biden administration? That means that more immigrants that are undocumented are coming now than under the Obama administration.
So you're saying that more are coming now than when Obama was the president?
Yes.
But like, what's your question in comparison, though?
What is the relevant difference in policy between the Obama administration and the Biden administration? That means more immigrants come now versus then.
Well, I don't know what you're trying to ask.
Dude, this isn't rocket science.
You do
This is
realize
not rocket
the more
science, man.
people that come into the country, the more illegals that come in destroy the country, right?
He's like actually like lost, bro. I'm asking you the question again. What's the relevant difference
I don't know.
between
I don't know. I don't know what the difference.
Okay, so if you don't know the difference in immigration policy, what that demonstrates, because they have the same immigration policy, is that it's environmental. It's not policy related. So if it's not policy related, it's not Biden's fault.
When Trump was the president, he wanted to close the borders, and everyone called him a racist. No, it's a good idea for the close
So
the border.
actually, right now, Biden, that was the other person who left. Biden wants to close the border where once there's 5,000 people in the country, he conceded to conservative border policy. And he said, and then Trump went against this border bill and said, blame it on me if the border bill fails.
No. Trump wants the border bill. He wants Trump literally says it in every prep rally. What the hell is Biden doing? Biden's calling Easter Sunday
Can you read this
Transgender
for me, please?
Visibility Day.
Hey, conspiracy, read this.
Yeah. Listen. But Trump doesn't
Blame
want
it
the
on
illegals-
me.
Cherry picking. You're just cherry picking.
I'm not cherry picking shit, and you're covering your mic, man.
He sends everything to Ukraine.
You're covering your mic, man. Blame it on me. I can't hear you, bro. You're covering your mic, man.
How is the housing market? How are the gas prices? How is the
Can you give me
day-to-day
any
life?
reason that
A lot
Biden
better.
paused these?
He sends everything to Ukraine. It's simple, supply and demand.
Sending money to
when you send
Ukraine-
things to Ukraine to go help the country, that it inflates everything in America because they take all the money and they put it to another country. Do you not understand how inflation works?
Conspiracy?
Dude, that's how it works.
You have no understanding of how inflation works. Let me explain it to you, okay? Inflation would fucking go down if that happens, okay? Because there would be less money domestically. So domestic prices, consumer prices would go down because there's less money in America. But what we did was we took money from our government as it relates to military, and we sent it over to Ukraine. So that money wouldn't have been used in the U.S. towards consumer prices anyway. Second of all, couldn't influence inflation at all. Why did you just leave? Bro, why did you just leave? I don't understand people. Literally, how would that even impact inflation in a negative light? Bro doesn't understand inflation at all. Take an econ course, bro. Please, man. Please, bro. Bro, you don't know what you're talking about? If you know anything about economics, you know that I was right there, right? I'm literally an econ major. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you seem old enough. Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Fuck no. Are you kidding
Appreciate
me?
the boxing
Fuck that
gloves.
guy.
Thank
He's
you
an
so
idiot.
much.
I can't vote for a rapist.
W. All right, let's get the next person, everyone. W is in the chat. W's. W. W chat. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Let's get the next person up here. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. You ever admit you're wrong? Absolutely. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
What's your birth year?
April 14, 2005.
For sure. You wouldn't be, actually you would be 18.
I'd be almost 19.
Yeah, you're almost 19. Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
I was, but not anymore. I'm going to leave. I'm just going to say, after hearing all of these.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you agreeing. I am just trying to get to the next person, though, to make sure I can get some people up here. I do need to check my math. That was so bad. My quick maths were terrible there, bro. Actually horrendous. Okay, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. Rude. I have boundaries. Okay, if you violate my boundaries, I'm gonna kick you. Okay, I've clarified my boundaries on this live. How many times? How could you say it's not rude for people to violate my boundaries, please? Yo, what's up? How old are you? You just cut out. All right, let's go to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. You, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
I love you, Parker.
For sure. For the person advocating me to go in a safe space in the chat, I bet you're pro-Israel and arguing that they need a safe space, bro. Get a fucking grip, dude. They need a safe space, and that's why it's okay for them to kill innocent Palestinians. Crazy. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo.
Will you vote for Trump in 2024?
Yeah.
Okay, why so?
Because I want to.
How old are you?
18.
What's your birth year?
May 6, 2005.
Okay. Why are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Cause
why?
Because
Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. All right, let's get this next person up here, everyone. Please only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
23.
For sure. Will you vote for Trump in 2024?
For sure, man.
Why so?
I don't know. I just felt like crime was down, and
Appreciate the boxing gloves. Thank you so much.
people were a little bit happier.
Yeah, so crime was down. So actually, crime has been reducing the past few years. Plus, how do you know that's specifically
Where do
related
you
to
see
Trump
that?
or Biden?
Where do you see that, though?
The overall crime statistics.
So you're telling me in America right now it's better than what it was 4 years ago?
No,
that
I'm just
what
saying it
you
was
mean?
better than a few years ago when Trump was in office. Because I mean, it was like 2021, it was higher.
So you mean to tell
2022 it was
me
highest.
4 years there was immigrants stealing innocent women and children stuff in the streets?
Yeah, and
4 years ago?
undocumented immigrants and documented migrants are less likely to commit crimes than natural-born U.S. citizens. They're multiple times less likely to commit
Yeah.
drug crime, multiple times less likely to commit violent crime, and multiple times less
was
likely
that?
to commit property crime. That's
When was that taken though? That's like a whole bunch of bullshit. Because right now
that's
you can go
from specifically the
anywhere.
Cato Institute. So you can sit there and cry, but that's a reputable institution that indicates
I'm
you're
not
fucking
crying,
wrong,
man.
bud.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
If you go out in the real world, you'll actually see what's going on.
If you go out in the real world and you look at statistics that actually indicate truth, right, you're going to be able to determine that you're literally wrong, bud. Right? I'm not saying that it isn't the case that people who are immigrants come to this country and commit crime. They absolutely do. But American citizens commit crimes at higher rates. So if you're saying that there's an issue with specifically immigrants, right, say that
No.
there's an issue with your fucking neighbor.
I'm saying that there is an issue, more of an issue now with immigrants.
Are you
than there
Christian?
ever was before. Yes.
So you're supposed to accept people in this country no matter what, right?
Yeah, I accept
would
anybody.
Jesus would Jesus turn away people?
No.
Okay, so then why are you advocating to turn away people and going against what Jesus would advocate
I'm
for?
not advocating to turn them away. I'm just saying.
You're advocating against what Jesus would advocate for. You said that you
That's what
follow
you're-
Jesus, but you're disagreeing with Jesus here.
Yeah, but that's what you're saying. You're saying that I'm saying that, but I'm not saying
Wait,
that.
no, wait, you follow Jesus, right? And Jesus would accept these people into the country, right?
Well, that's the thing. You can't really say that though. That's the thing.
Well, I can't say that. It says in the Bible, doesn't it?
Bro, in the Bible it says nothing about the country.
It absolutely says that you shouldn't turn people away and that you should love thy neighbor.
Correct.
Okay, so then why are you doing the opposite here?
I'm not though. That's the thing.
Oh, by the way, chat, me calling out hypocrisy isn't me hating on Christians.
No, I get that. I'm not saying you do, dude.
Oh, I wasn't saying
just
you.
saying,
You were. The people in
if-
the chat are just weird.
If it's just right now in today's day and age, if I go to New York City right now, more than likely I'm gonna see something that they didn't come into the country the proper way that they should have. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like there's more of that right now than there ever has been.
There's more of what? Sorry?
More of immigrants, pretty much.
Wait, that doesn't mean it's Biden's fault. One, two. Your
Yeah, but if you
literally
look at the
Bible.
numbers-
Your Bible commands you to literally
Yeah, no,
give
see,
all
that's
of your
the thing,
money
though.
to the your Bible commands you to give your money to the poor, to support people in need. So asylum seekers, you should be supporting them and you should be giving your money to them. Not only that, but you should also be doing that otherwise. So when you vote for Republicans that consistently vote for policies that reduce the money for poor people, you're doing the complete opposite. When you give taxes to poor people, to give money to rich people, that's exactly the opposite of what Jesus commands you to do. Jackson, I appreciate the $6.66. Thank you so much, Jackson.
I see what you're saying, but what you have to understand is, in today's day and age and world, if you want money or if you want something, you have to get off your ass and go get it. That's how I feel about it. I don't.
Yeah, and
think,
Jesus would disagree with you there. Jesus would say, "You as
Yeah, but
the church should give people food who don't have food. You should give people money who don't have money. You should give people healthcare who don't have healthcare. You should give people childcare who don't have childcare. You should give people housing who don't have housing. Help the homeless, help the poor, help the sick." Right, and that's not what Trump is advocating for.
How many people advocate for that though? That's the thing. Not that many.
Well, Democrats are more likely to advocate for these things than Republicans. Who would Jesus vote for, Trump or Biden?
That's a great question. That's a great fucking question, man.
And I have a feeling you want to say Biden.
No. I that's a great question. I can't tell you who. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you who. That's
Jesus
not-
was definitely more on the liberal side. Be so real.
Yeah, but that's the thing. How do you know that if he's not here? If you never met him?
Because you can look at the Bible and read it.
Yeah, bro. But that you just because because it's hard to explain. It's very hard to explain. It's like to try to get into it. I just feel as if you're poor for a reason, because you didn't get up off your ass to make sure you're not poor.
Yeah, you saying it's poor people's fault that they're poor, I think is ridiculous, especially when socioeconomic status is heavily correlated and associated specifically with where you're born. People that are born in privileged areas are significantly more likely to do better off because of the information, because of the access to things, because of the infrastructure. Right, plenty of things. Right, so for you to say it's poor people in their country, it's their fault that they need to pull themselves by their bootstraps. When in this country they're strapped with their medical debt, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford a $400 random expense. How the fuck are they supposed to do that without being able to do that?
I just said, I just feel as if you don't want to be poor, you will make sure you're not poor. That's just what it is. Like you right now, you're on here working, right? Making a living for yourself.
Because I grew up in a household where I didn't have to work when I was in college, right? I had the time to be able to take off and be able to put it into stuff like this. Because I wasn't specifically having to do things to be able to put food on my table. Because I had parents that were able to help me out in these types of circumstances. Because I had the financial stability that if I needed to, I could pull out debt if I need to.
I get that, but
because I had information from people around me to go to particularly cheaper universities rather than going to more expensive ones. I had the infrastructure to be able to do that. I live in a state that specifically funds 80% of my college tuition. Okay, I have privilege, right? And that privilege has increased my ability to be able to set myself up for success. Appreciate the handouts. Thank you so much. And that's not the same for many people in this country. If you look at countries around the world, the countries that have the best access to social services and social mobility are countries that are Scandinavian countries that have broader access to social services. Not the United States. The United States lacks in social mobility. It lacks in access to healthcare. It lacks in access to education. It lacks in access to childcare. It lacks in access to basic necessities that people need on a daily basis that have not been provided in this country yet have been provided in decades in developed European countries for a very long time. Because they actually care about their people, not us.
I completely agree with you on that, 100%. But there's just some things as if, like I grew up in the city and I moved to Pennsylvania, right? I had a choice.
For the person who thinks I'm reading, I'm literally playing 2K.
I had a choice on whether to go down the right road or go down the wrong road. And I feel like everybody has that choice. And it's up to you whether you prosper in what you want to do or you don't.
It is not totally up to you. For you to say that, I think is a bit ridiculous. I think there are actually real systemic barriers towards people being able to get access to these things. And I think it's just like saying that like anyone can be rich is also unrealistic, right?
How though?
It's unrealistic because what is required to be able to become rich in the first place is access to lots of information that you probably won't have access to if you were born in plenty of different areas. Right? Like the reason why I'm successful, right, is partially because of luck. Right? Huge portion because of luck. Yeah, I put in a lot of work. Yeah, I've dedicated a lot into stuff like this, but it's absolutely because I was lucky that people responded to my content in a positive light. It's because I was lucky being in the right place at the right time. It was because I was lucky that I was interested in these things. It was because I was lucky that I had people that influenced me to start doing these types of things. You can't
say it's luck, man, because when you're consistent, that's what happens.
Wait, I was consistent, but I required luck to get to this spot in the first place. I wouldn't have been able to be here if it wasn't for luck. Okay.
See, but I don't.
Consistency is necessary. I don't dispute you on that, but it's absolutely luck based.
If you work hard for something, I truly believe that you can achieve whatever it is that you work hard for, and that's up to you.
You can, but that doesn't necessarily mean you will. There are plenty of people that I know that do lives every single day on this platform that didn't have the same opportunities as me because of the luck that I found in the algorithm.
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying. You worked for that, and you.
I did work really hard for it. I'm not disputing that.
That's what I'm saying. So
how many people work hard at their jobs every single day and don't receive the same type of stuff that I receive? There are people out there that work significantly harder than I do, and they get paid significantly less.
I get, yeah, that's 100% true. I'm an electrician, man. I know how this shit goes, but it's just like, I just feel as if, as a person, if you have kids and you have to take care of who you have to take care of, you're going to get up and do what you have to do to make sure that your family is all right. And just because you grew up in a bad area doesn't mean you can't make it out.
I'm not saying you can't make it out. What I'm saying is that there are huge barriers towards people being able to do this. So you saying it's just because people are lazy is absolutely not true. There are hard workers that are poor in this country. Very hard workers that are poor. There are people that can barely pay their bills that are working multiple jobs. I don't have to work multiple jobs. I understand I'm going to college. I'm keeping a good GPA. I'm fucking working a lot on TikTok. That's a lot of fucking work. But you should not have to work more than 40 hours in this country to be able to pay your bills. Appreciate the crown. Thank you so much. That is bullshit.
No, yeah, you're completely right, man. I mean, I don't know. I just see life differently because, of course, I've came from a different place. But it's just like, I just was always taught, you work hard for something and you can't achieve it. There's nobody.
That's the American dream, and it's just that, a dream. Okay. So all these people think that they're going to be billionaires, think that they're going to be millionaires. You are less likely to be a millionaire or a billionaire than you are to like for plenty of things to happen to you, right? That you would consider extraordinarily unlikely, right?
Yeah, I see. I see what you're saying, but I just feel like as if you really want to take care of yourself, you can. Because money is not everything to me, man. Like, I just feel like,
and that's because you have the baseline level of necessities met. And a lot of people in this country, they don't have that. They're food insecure. They don't have access to health care. They don't have access to child care. Their kids don't have access to being around their parents or being with loved ones all the time because they're out working 12 to 16-hour shifts because they have to work multiple jobs just to put food on the table for their kids. That should not exist in this country, right? I think that is ridiculous. And I think that we need better living standards for the average person. We need base necessities. We need everyone to have houses in this country. We need everyone to have access to healthcare in this country. Everyone to have access to education. Everyone to have access to childcare. Basic necessities should not be lost because they can't afford it in this country. Appreciate the cowboy. Thank you so much. We are the richest country in the history of the world. And you're saying we can't do this when other developed nations around the world have been able to do this for decades? We can't do this because they spend hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, right? Literally trillions of dollars, right, on war, on benefits for our companies, for our corporations in this country. But where's the benefit for the middle class?
There's nothing.
Where's the benefit for people in need? And I'm not saying that this isn't applicable to Democrats too. Democrats have absolutely done this, historically speaking. I'm just arguing they're better than Republicans. There's a whole lot of fucking work we got to do in this country, right? And I think that people like Donald Trump, when they deny the democratic and fair elections that this country runs, that it actually holds us back from that progression. It creates a society of less accountability when we already lack accountability with our two-party system. Thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it, Lisa. Thank you so much.
No, yeah, you're completely right. I completely agree with you there. I just feel like no matter what party it is, there's always somebody out to collect a check or something, no matter who it is. I mean, that's just what it is in the day.
There always is. I'm just telling you which one we're going to be better off under, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. How could you say that when, like, Trump helped a lot of people with that stimulus package. He helped plenty of families.
There was more stimulus given under Biden. There's more infrastructure. There was more help with plenty of things. There was a PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, Build Back Better, American Rescue Plan. He cut $10,000 of student debt for
that's
people
not true,
struggling
though.
with student debt. He provided billions of dollars in housing development for low-income families. He provided billions of dollars of funding for historically black universities in this country. There are plenty of things.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think a lot of that is accurate.
Thank you. No, it absolutely is, right? I'm not lying at all. I'm giving you the facts straight up.
So where are you finding this?
You can find this specifically on the Congress website. You can find this from the whitehouse.gov. You can find this from the top media sources, whether it be The Hill, whether it be AP News, whether it be Reuters.
When did the majority of that go into play? Like what year?
The past 3 years.
So past 3 years, not 4. Is that what you're saying?
Obviously past 3 years, because that's when Biden was in office. Adrian, thank you for the $10 in Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I don't know, man. I think no matter what, the government is out to go for whoever can give them the most money. At the end of the day, is what it is. They don't really care about everybody. They don't care. I mean, think about it. Like you just said, there's how many people they can't afford a meal right now, and they're trying to take down a fucking app. What does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think that's heavily ridiculous. Again, I think that Congress is not held accountable. But when you vote for people that constantly demean and disparage fair and democratic elections, right, and get tens of millions of people to not engage in the American democratic processes because they're disenfranchised, that makes our country less accountable as it relates to our politicians. Okay, so I'm trying to increase accountability. Right.
Yeah, but the same politicians have been in office for years.
Yeah, and you decreasing accountability by not accepting the fair and democratic election results decreases that accountability.
How?
Because, all right, the method of democracy is our system of accountability, is our system of limiting tyranny. That is how we limit tyranny. Right. That is the whole point of democracy. Right. There are plenty of critiques of democracy. There are plenty of people I probably out there wouldn't want voting because they're extremely low information. Right. But it is the case that it is our safeguard for tyranny. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's the best we got.
I see what you're saying, man, but I don't know. I just feel like no matter what, they're not looking out for us as American people at the end of the day.
Yeah, because there's a lack of accountability in our two-party system.
But we allow it. That's the thing. So how can you say the Democrats are going to be better? But both parties have been allowing it for years.
Yeah, because Democrats provide better social services for the average American.
And they take more from the average American as well.
And again, I don't think you want to say that because if we look at the tax policy that we're specifically relating to in terms of the tax cut and jobs,
I can literally go for my pay stubs from 4 years ago to now. I can tell you right now, they're taking more taxes out right now.
Well, the funny thing is we're still under Trump tax policy. Jokes. So if you want to reference no, we're still under Trump tax policy. Like that's actually a legitimate thing. Like those taxes are specifically because of Trump. If you want to talk about this though, right, I think it's important to acknowledge that under the Tax Cut and Jobs Act over the past 10 years from 2017, or I mean, not 10 years, the past few years, right, and going into 2027 for 10 years, right, it decreases after-tax income for the middle class and for the lowest quintile, and it increases after-tax income for the top 1%, for the top 0.1%, and for the highest quintile.
Well, that's the thing. I also read something that from 2019 to now is the $120,000 is this as of right now is $30,000 in like buying power. So how does that make sense?
According to what standards? And you might be relating to housing. I don't know what you're talking about because
I'm related to housing.
Interest rates are extremely high right now to decrease price instability. So it will go back to different.
But that's what I'm saying. How is that helping the people?
Well, that's meant to decrease price instability.
So
that was the Federal Reserve. That's the Federal Reserve, not Biden.
Yeah, but he could do something about it if he wanted to.
No.
Just like how he could pay all these student loans off.
Young Metro, completely wrong. Biden can't increase the interest rate. That's the Fed.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I just feel like...
Appreciate the money gun. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you.
2019, I was able to get an interest rate of 3.5, and now you can't even get one at 7%.
Interest rate is the Federal Reserve. It's not the president.
Yeah, but he plays part in everything, man.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. You have no clue how the Federal Reserve works. It is Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed. That's who releases the target rates, okay, which then influences the interest rates, okay, and they do it for a dual mandate called price stability and maximum employment, okay, because there was price instability. They're going to sacrifice maximum employment, or they're going to sacrifice employment by increasing interest rate to decrease aggregate demand to then bring back price stability. which is decreased inflation, which is the increase in prices. So that's disinflation, not deflation, a decrease in prices, disinflation, a reduction in the increase in pricing.
So let me ask you this. 4 years ago, do you think stuff was cheaper or not?
Stuff was cheaper, yes.
So how did that change? And what's your opinion about that?
Why did that happen? That
Yeah.
specifically happened because of global oil prices. Inflation has happened globally because
but
oil prices have gone
are
up
about the
due
same
to
as what they were
not
4
true.
years ago right now.
Not true.
And gas is still the same.
No, it's not. Gas is more expensive now. Gas is more expensive because
that's what I'm saying.
OPEC.
Gas is still expensive. It hasn't never went down since he came in office.
Again, because of plenty of different issues, like OPEC limiting their distribution of oil worldwide, like we're getting less oil from Russia because of the Russia-Ukraine situation, which would have happened regardless of Trump or Biden in office. Okay.
Well, I agree with that. You're 100% right there. I know about that, but I just feel like it's dragged out. It got dragged out, and we're paying the price.
So, can you give me any reason that Biden caused that?
I cannot. It just
You can't give
doesn't.
me any reason, so stop. If you can't give me any reason, then stop applying it to Biden.
I'm not applying it to Biden. You're taking
You literally were. You literally were trying to apply it to Biden.
But see, if you feel like I was trying to apply it to Biden, so obviously it's applied to Biden. Everybody applied.
No,
to Biden.
you were trying to apply it to Biden, and just because I felt like you were trying to apply it to Biden doesn't mean it was that it was actually applied to Biden. Please take an economics course,
dude. I don't need to do that.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
If you're going to make claims on economics and then you're going to literally not be trying to take any information from people that would know what they're referencing here, well, then I don't know what to tell you, dude. Right?
So what do you think about drilling? Do you think we should drill or not?
Depends on how much. The question isn't should we drill. The question is how much should we drill.
What do you think about drilling, though?
I would like to get away from these things in the future.
And what do you think will be able to supply all the people on this earth?
Nuclear power, solar, and wind in the future.
Do you know how efficient solar and wind is?
Right now, it's increasing in efficiency. It's had the biggest rapid increase in efficiency, but right now it cannot sustain global electricity.
It will not be able to sustain global electricity. I can tell you that right now.
Not right now, but in the future.
I install solar panels. I don't believe that if every single person got an electric car, that the solar would or wind.
I didn't argue for that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's no way that would be the thing, dude. Like, we would have to literally have miles and miles and miles and miles of solar panels, and then you got to think about it. After 5 years,
Yeah, they're going to have that, and then also the technology for solar panels is becoming more efficient over time.
Yeah, now
which
it
is
is.
decreasing the cost of energy and increasing how much energy we can have access to. Again, like I told you, right? It is increasing in its productivity over time. I'm not saying it's able to do it right now. What I'm saying is it's going to over time. Right now, what's capable for us to do is nuclear energy, like they do in France. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not that safe.
It is safe. It is absolutely very safe.
So you think it's safer than drilling?
How many people have died from nuclear power related incidents? How many people die from pollution? Way more people die from pollution than have died from nuclear power incidents. There's only been like 3 major ones that you can specifically reference. Okay.
Yeah, but three major ones that was enough to be able to reference is what I'm saying.
There's like 1,000 deaths directly from those ones.
Yeah, that
Less
we
than
know of.
1,000. Okay. Those are I'm saying direct things specifically, right? And there's significantly more from pollution. Okay. So nuclear power is our best route towards going towards what's it called? Renewable energy. And thorium is a part of that process, but it takes time to build those molten salt reactors. And
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's too much money to maintain.
No, maintaining these nuclear power plants is actually really cost effective. It's really cheap. It's the startup fixed costs. So like setting up these plants in the first place.
They're expensive.
Yeah. So setting up the plants is expensive in the first place, but they last on average over 40 years. Modern ones can last up to 80 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's for each plant. And each plant can run 24/7. It can run on extremely, extremely low amounts of costs. Right. And the mining process used for uranium in the first place is significantly less harmful to the environment than fracking, significantly less harmful to the environment than coal and pollution, significantly less harmful to the
But how
environment
many years have
than
they studied
basically
that?
every other mechanism of getting energy. Okay?
How many years have they studied that though? Because
We've studied this for decades.
that's the thing. So then why isn't it a thing?
It is in France. Why isn't it a thing to a larger extent? Because it requires high upfront costs, and because of things like Chernobyl and Fukushima and things like that, where people were scared. But these particular things are extremely unlikely to occur. So, like, the internalization of costs as it relates to nuclear power is significantly lower than the internalization of costs as it relates to basically every other form of getting electricity. And also, Biden is also, helping set up things for nuclear power plants and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he says one thing and then does opposite. So that's just how I feel.
well,
about
that's
it.
what he did. Where he's already doing it.
So you're gonna vote for Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like a libertarian or anything like that.
No, I'm not a libertarian. I'm a social democrat.
So what's the difference between a social democrat and a Democrat?
Okay, social democrat is a bit different. It's a more progressive liberal.
So you're a liberal.
I'm a more progressive liberal. Democrats.
See,
Basically everyone's liberal.
I consider a liberal and a Democrat two different things.
Yeah, I understand. A lot of liberals, right, are Democrats, right? But some liberals are Republicans. Some liberals are further to the left, right? It just depends. I'm saying I'm a more progressive Democrat, right? That's essentially what I'm saying.
All right, man. It was nice talking to you. I don't really have anything else to say.
For sure. All right, let's go to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Thank you for the starlight. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hello?
Hi, I'm 20. I just had to speak something cat. I just told you that with your friend.
Okay, they're lagging really bad, so we're going to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. Why are you not a leftist? Because the models of leftism do not show that it's probabilistically going to be better for human beings' flourishment. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
You, me?
You seem old enough. Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Yeah, dude, I'm 54.
Is there a way you can get rid of the background noise? I'm getting some echo on my voice.
How's that?
Thank you so much, man. Why will you vote for Trump in 2024?
Well, number one, I'm a Republican. And I don't know, man. I want to say I've watched you for a while, months now. Sometimes I listen to you, and it's like, yeah, I can pick up what you're putting down. Sometimes I listen to you, I get really pissed off. Just got to say. But look, man, I know you're young. I know you're college educated. You're getting there, and
Jason, thank you for the $5 on Cash App.
Parker, I gotta say, man, I at my age, we look for honesty. Even if you're wrong, we don't care as long as people are being intellectually honest. And in my opinion, both sides are crooked as hell. Right? You nailed it on the head. You say all the time, two-party system's a failure. Right? The system is a failure, but it's what we have. I was 30 years old, 20 some years ago, and I said the only way to fix this system is to tear it down. Because there's no
I've
way.
said the same thing. I used to be a communist.
Yeah, I was never really a communist. I'm not going to say a communist, but
oh no, I used to be. That's what I was saying.
But you get to a point. You get to a point, man, where things have gone so bad for so long. There's no turning the ship around. You just have to sink the ship and start over. But look, being intellectually honest, you have to admit that there's something wrong with Biden. There is something wrong. When you see a man say some words behind a podium, walk off the podium, he doesn't know which way to go. He tries to shake hands with people that aren't there. Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. I mean,
Michael,
what the hell was that?
Can I reference this? So, obviously,
yeah,
there can be incoherent things that you could say. I can say incoherent things sometimes, right? Same thing with Trump. We could point to those. But, I mean, if you want to reference this, not knowing where you were going, that can absolutely happen if you're in a place where you've never been before.
I get
And also,
it.
like, I mean,
get
it just depends on like the clip that you're referencing. So when Republicans say you got to add context because all these different things that Republicans and fake news media take out of context as it relates to Trump, well, it seems like you saying that like he was like lost after this is taking out a lot of context as well.
Now, but it's not just one time; it's multiple times.
Show me.
Well, I can't show you. I didn't, I pulled over. I went to a parking lot waiting for my turn here. It's not like I have documents ready to go or websites you can go to. And so I know the whole young person thing is, oh, you gave me the trust me bro argument. I get it. I hear what you're saying. But I mean, I'm on a phone. You're in a room somewhere. How can I show you? It's not like I've knew I was going to be up here and I could prepare my sources for you.
You could just give me a title. And I mean, yeah, you were coming on my live. So, I mean, if you've watched me before, you would know that I asked for sources. So, I mean,
yeah,
I'm not necessarily, I'm just saying like,
I'm in the real world,
something,
I just got off work, I'm driving.
Yeah. Is there something that you can use to indicate this? Because if you don't have nothing to show this or to indicate this, well, then it's just a claim. And then I can make the claim that you're wrong. Right. And then
well, you
I
could make the claim,
with no evidence.
But being intellectually honest, Parker, when you look at all the sources, what was I don't even know where he was not long ago, within a month ago. He's talking about brewing beer and he was incoherent and then making a statement, ooh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. What the hell was he trying to say, man?
I don't know, but there are plenty of times where I don't know what Trump's trying to say. So I don't see this specifically.
At least,
to
you know what? I'm going to tell you, I'm voting for Trump. I got to be honest with you. Trump's an asshole.
Hey, man, are you driving now?
No. I'm in a parking lot.
I was just making sure.
Oh yeah. So, dude, Trump's an asshole. But you know why people like him, right?
Because they feel disenfranchised. I don't know why people like him though, like fully, because like there's just so much shit about him that's terrible. Like, dude, I used to be a Trump supporter. I used to be pro-Trump, right? I can't even make sense of why people are. Okay. Right. The person that exists today that is running for office is nowhere near the same thing that, like, when I was younger, I was deceived into believing.
Deceived into, I'm explain.
Yeah, like I didn't know he was a proven sexual abuser. I didn't know he was a proven fraudster. I didn't know he would deny the election for the past few years with no sufficient evidence to indicate that. I didn't know that he was going to refer to people who are Mexican coming across the border, right, as rapists and criminals, and that only some he assumes are good people, instead of saying most I assume are good people. I didn't know he was going to refer to people in Charlottesville who were white supremacists and whatnot as very fine people. Appreciate the hot dog, appreciate the $10, thank you so much. I didn't know that he was going to incite an insurrection. I didn't know that he was going to say that people who burn the American flag should go to prison. I didn't know that he was going to call for all of these things that I consider bad.
On the other hand, you got a geriatric old man that can't put two words together.
Trump or Biden absolutely can. I appreciate the boxing gloves. Thank you so much, Blue Sky. If we're being intellectually honest, you know that he can.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. The exaggeration of two words together.
That's an extreme
over-exaggeration. But you know this man is being handled. You know this man is being handled. He's not in charge.
No, he is. He absolutely is. Can you give me any evidence he's not?
Can you give me evidence he is?
Yeah, he's president of the United States. He was inaugurated on what, January? Was it January 6th or was that January 20th? I can't remember. I think it's January 20th. But like literally was inaugurated. He has signed like a shit ton of legislation in office. Some of the most executive orders out of any president in American history. Right? He's helped influence pass the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS Act. Right? He's also helped pass Build Back Better, the infrastructure bill, the American Rescue Plan, $10,000 of canceling for student loan debt. He's helped pull American soldiers out of the conflict of Afghanistan. What's that?
Who is that helping?
American people.
By increasing all these things that he passed are unfunded mandates that have to be funded somehow. So how do you fund it? You print more money.
Oh, so it would be that you digitally create money, or you could borrow it. And as it relates to the context of this money, it was no different than the deficit spending that we would specifically see under the context of Trump. Trump added trillions to the deficit, right? I think Trump added more than Biden has. Biden's added 6 trillion, Trump 7.
Well, he had a pandemic to deal with.
So did Biden.
It was ending under Biden.
Huh?
It was ending under Biden. It was coming to an end.
No, there was like another. There was only Trump was only president a year into COVID.
Yeah, you're right on that. My bad. But it was $1 trillion in stimulus money, and a lot of that stimulus money didn't even go to people.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to talk about it, it went to like businesses. Holding up businesses maintains jobs.
So it was corporate welfare.
You understand that corporate welfare that you're particularly referencing in certain scenarios maintains a lower unemployment, which means that less people die, less people get negatively impacted, and more people have jobs, right?
We're not going to agree on this one.
I mean, I agree that like the way that they've done this gives too much funding to corporations that have been doing bad things and can generate moral hazard. But you also have to acknowledge that like it can also lead to destabilization if we have these particular types of industries completely eroded.
We're not going to agree.
I don't know why you're not agreeing.
Because I've been around too long.
Saying you've been around long isn't a response to my problem. There are plenty of people who are older than you in the comment section that agree with what I just said.
I've been around too long, Parker.
And they've been around longer than you. Apparently not long enough.
Yeah, but these are games that people play, and you have to see that. You have to see through the facade of everything.
What games are you referencing? And if they're games, why are you saying one's preferable to the other?
Oh, I already said Trump's an asshole.
I mean, do you think he's better than Biden?
He's a complete asshole.
Is he
But the
better
thing
than
is, I think that Biden is not in control of what he's doing. He's being handled.
Is Trump better than Biden?
I think he is, yes.
Okay, so why?
I think he's better because he is the asshole. He's the guy that'll say what people won't say.
So you like him because he's a bad person?
That's not what I said.
An asshole is a bad person.
They're all bad. There's no one good in any of this.
Why would you want someone to be an asshole?
The system is corrupt. This is a man that's outside the system.
Then how'd he win?
Because people voted for him.
Okay, so it's not corrupt?
What do you mean?
So if it was corrupt, then how would he have won?
The system is corrupt. Like I said, both sides are.
What do you mean by corrupt?
Parker.
What do you mean by corrupt?
This is all, like I said, just like we agreed on in the beginning. This ship needs to sink.
No, I'm asking you, what do you mean by corrupt?
I don't know how I should word this. Both sides are an opposite side of the same coin.
Okay, if it's the same coin, how could you say one candidate's preferable to the other one? And then how could you say that Trump is working outside of the system if he won, if it's two sides of the same coin?
No, I'm
Because
not
the two
saying
sides of the same coin wouldn't let a coin that's not on the sides win. That doesn't make any sense.
I didn't say he's working outside the system, but he came from outside the system. He's not a career politician.
Okay, but you said he's part of the two sides of one coin.
The parties are. The two-party system is two sides of one coin.
But he's working within the party, so how does he have power in the party if it's two sides of the one coin and he's different than the rest? That would be saying that they're different and the same simultaneously. That's contradictory.
It's not if you listen. You're trying. I know what you're doing. You're playing debate tactics, and I get it.
I'm debating
you're using.
That's what I'm doing. I'm critiquing.
Yeah, I get it, and I'm. I'm not a. What's the word I'm looking for? A debatist. This is not what I do for a living. This is not what I've studied. Debate.
You're not a master
tactics,
debater?
debate. I'm not a master debater. Okay. I know. It's hilarious. You're hilarious. But look, I believe JFK was trying. He was another one that he wanted to turn the system around, and I think they killed him for it.
Okay, I don't know who they is, but sure, right? Whatever you want to believe in as relates to that. Again, if you think it's all rigged, okay, every single one is rigged. Well, then why wasn't the election of Trump winning rigged?
Because they didn't see it coming. The left didn't see it coming.
They rig everything. They control everything, but they just didn't see it coming. What?
They didn't see it coming. They didn't see it coming.
What?
That's why they rigged the second one.
Come on, bro. How do you not? What do you mean they didn't see a general election coming? Like, come on.
Look, you had all the celebrities, all the news pundits.
That means it's literally not corrupt, Michael.
George Clooney, all these other guys, all the talk show people saying, "Oh, there's no way Trump's going to win. No way Trump's going to win. No way Trump's going to win." No one believes
Okay, so then it wasn't
no one
two
believed he
sides of
could
the
win.
same coin. So it wasn't two sides of the same coin because the coins were different. when
He's
Trump was
not a
running.
part of that coin. He came in wanting to turn it
when
over.
When you say two sides of the same coin, you're referencing the political parties. You understand
The parties.
Trump quite literally owns most of the Republican Party, right?
What do you mean he owns the party?
Most of the party supports him. He literally destroyed the primaries. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so like, literally, I don't know what that's cult like support too. Like they're gonna vote for Barron Trump if he runs, like that type of shit. Just because he's a Trump, you know what I mean?
And they're going to vote for Michelle when something happens to Biden before the election.
That's not gonna happen. Michelle said she's
Something's
not
going to
running.
happen. Something's going to happen. That man's not going to make it to the election.
You want to bet?
Gentleman's bet. I'm not going to do this thing where you're like $10,000, bro.
I won't do that. How about this? $25.
We don't need to bet money. I don't think the man's going to make it to the election.
It's absurd, obviously.
How is that absurd?
Yeah, because you're gonna see him make it there.
I don't know if I'm going to make it to the election, man.
Come on, bro.
And the man's in poorer health than I am.
If Joe Biden is in poorer health than you, then you're gonna make it to the election.
He probably won't.
I would put money on it, and you wouldn't. So,
real quick, I'm gonna have to go soon. Real quick, just want to throw out a couple things. Jesus wouldn't care who won the election.
that doesn't make any sense. Jesus wouldn't
Why
care
doesn't
whether
it?
or not more or less people were loved. Jesus wouldn't care if a sexual abuser was in office. Jesus wouldn't care.
Jesus wasn't political.
Yeah, Jesus absolutely was political. Okay,
He wasn't
If you've read
political.
any of the Bible, he's
Yes, I
literally.
have.
Yeah. Do you know what he says about rich people?
He says it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the gates of heaven.
There you go, bud. Is that
Yeah.
not applicable to Trump?
He wasn't talking about Trump. He was talking about rich people who love their money more than they love people.
Oh, I'm Trump.
He didn't tell, and you told somebody that
Trump.
one of the previous guys.
Literally Trump.
You
You
told
literally just described Trump, dude.
No, I didn't. You told one of the previous guys that Jesus said to sell everything you have and give it to the poor. No, he didn't. Jesus told us the poor you're going to have with you always.
Want me to pull it? You want me to show you?
You show me.
I got you.
So you're going to talk about when he says sell your possessions and follow me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus answered, "If you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions and give to the poor. You will have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me."
And who was he talking to?
He's talking to people.
He was talking to one very rich man who had not good intentions. He knew his intentions before the man came and talked to him. Read the whole passage. Read the whole passage, not the one line.
Is that not him saying to rich people that you
No,
literally
that was him
should?
saying read the whole thing. This was a man that just had ill intentions. This is a man that wanted basically props for saying, "Hey, I'm going to follow you, man." Jesus knew his
I
game
tell
and
you
what
the
he was up
truth.
to.
It will be hard for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. Yes, I tell you, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich person to enter the kingdom of God. It's not just talking to one person. It's talking about a rich person in general.
That was a
Okay?
different part.
This is the same
And
part.
Jesus-
This is the
and-
same
and
part.
what
I'll
did
read
Jesus
it
say?
together. Jesus answered, "If you want to be perfect, then go sell your possessions and give the money to the poor. If you do this, you will have treasure in heaven. Then come and follow me." But when the young man heard this, he left sorrowfully because he was
Yeah.
rich. Then Jesus said to his followers, I tell you the truth. It will be hard for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. Yes, I tell you that it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God.
Yes.
So he was referencing his followers in the second part, not just
He
the
was
rich
referencing
person.
that. He was. You got to.
The
You got
first
to read
part was
everything.
referencing the rich person, and then
Yeah.
the second part was referencing his followers.
He never told his followers to dump all your stuff.
He said that it is harder to his followers for a rich person to make it into the kingdom of heaven than for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. You understand it's not possible, right? So he's basically saying it's impossible for rich people to make it to heaven.
He's not saying that, Parker.
That is literally what it says. He's literally saying it's
that, Parker.
impossible to make it to heaven if you're
He's
rich.
not saying there's going to be no earthly rich people that are going to make it to heaven.
That's not possible. Is that possible? Is
That's not
it
what he's
easier for
saying.
is it easy for is it possible for a camel to go through an eye of a needle?
The ones I used to smoke, yeah. That was a joke.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You got to put everything in context to the bigger teaching that he was trying to say, Parker. And I think you get that. If you want to take everything specifically and take everything to 100% literal, I mean,
That's not
that reminds me.
that's
that
a
reminds,
metaphor
that
that
reminds,
literally says it's impossible.
that reminds me of an episode
I was
of the Brady
specifically
Bunch.
not taking that literal.
Well, let me go home and grab my Bible so I can basically, get you the whole story that was involved there.
You should.
I
But,
should.
but
Wish-
Jesus
wish I
is
could.
condemning Donald Trump there, just letting you know. My
He
Fairy,
never
thank
caught
you
him
for the
out by name.
galaxy. I appreciate it, My Fairy. Thank you so much. Appreciate the hand arts. Thank you.
Jesus wasn't political. Basically, he told people to pay their taxes. He says, whose image is on the face of that coin? And they're like, it's Caesar's. And he's like, give to Caesar's what Caesar's, give to God what is God's. He didn't care about his followers. His followers didn't understand what he was there for, and they expected him to be the king in the vein of David that was going to come and destroy Rome. They never understood what his purpose was.
Okay, I don't know what you're trying to say there, but
Well, the thing is, you try to use Jesus as an argument, being a political person. He wasn't a political person.
I was just
He
saying
wasn't
he's more liberal, and that's definitely a political statement. Okay, you can't say that's not a political statement. I don't know how you can say that.
because it wasn't a political statement.
What does it mean to be political?
Being involved in the policies of government.
So, do you think this is not something to influence policies of government?
Jesus never tried to influence the policies of the government. He didn't care about man government.
Really? So, like, what's the moral law of the Old Testament supposed to be?
Love God and love man.
Is that not supposed to be law?
That is the law.
Oh, there you go.
That's the law of Torah. Love God and love man. Has nothing to do with politics.
Again, do you think that God says that you should follow the law of the land?
Yes.
Okay, that's a political statement.
You like to nitpick every little thing, don't you?
And you like to avoid accountability whenever I get you.
No, dude. It's just there's things there's more than black and white out there.
Okay, and that's just coping. Appreciate the DMC. Thank you so much. I appreciate the boxing gloves.
There's more than black and white out there, and you want to take something that's in black and white and force it into a narrative when it's obvious not speaking exactly to what you're trying to force it into. But you'll be like, look, it's there in
Wait, that's
black and white, so
political,
it must be
though. Do you
true.
agree it's political?
It's making a statement of life.
It's making a political statement.
He's saying follow the laws of God and man.
Okay, that's literally a political statement. Marcus, I appreciate the superpower. Thank you so much.
But he wasn't. He wasn't a political person. He didn't come
That
and
literally is
rile
a
against
political
Rome.
statement. And
Jesus
he did rile
Christ,
against
man.
Rome. He literally did. They literally are the ones that literally murdered him.
Yeah, but he wasn't against Rome. He never came and told people to take arms up against Rome. He never tried to overturn the Roman system.
So then you shouldn't try to overturn your system? Jesus didn't call for that. He's not political. Kristen, thank you
I'm
for
not
$6.66. Thank you so much, Kristen.
I'm not Jesus. If I want to talk about politics, I can talk about politics.
Yeah, but that.
But-
I mean,
but to- but
again,
to-
but
but
you,
to say
you
that-
should be like Jesus, right?
I'll never be like Jesus, dude.
But you should be like Jesus.
It would be a wonderful thing if I could be.
Yeah. So again, you're making the statement that you should be. So
Wouldn't
but
it be
then, like,
nice?
You're not trying to live in accordance with what he does. So it's kind of funny.
How is that funny?
Because you base your entire life on this, and then when it actually push comes to shove, you don't.
How do I not, dude?
Again, because it literally tells you what to do there, and you were not doing that.
And
You're
but
saying,
what
"Oh,
else is-
I
what
want
else?
to."
What else does the Bible say though? What else does the Bible say about man?
What? That's an extremely broad question. It says a lot.
Yeah. What else? But I'll tell you what the Bible says about
Mr.
man. It
Mustache,
says
thank you so
it
much.
says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. It says Paul said that everything that he did that was good and for God and was wonderful was nothing but a pile of shit, because he's a flawed man. And nothing that we can do on earth is going to be Christ-like. We're never going to be like Christ. We may have the desire. We're never going to do it. We're never going to make it. We're never going to be
Lisa, I appreciate the
perfect.
hand art. Thank you so much. I know you're saying you're
But
never going to be
it's- but it's
perfect.
a-
That doesn't
but-
mean you
but it's
shouldn't
a-
strive to be under your view.
But it's a guideline to live by. But because Jesus wasn't political, it doesn't mean that all Christians shouldn't be political because Jesus wasn't political.
I think we've already demonstrated Jesus was political. You're just denying reality at this point.
Because he said to obey the laws of man, he didn't go out there and make statements
That's
against
literally
the
a political
government.
statement.
Oh my God! Did he
Appreciate
go
the hand
out
art.
there
Thank you
and
so much. That's a literal.
did he go
political
out
statement.
there and tell his followers to
He said follow
try
the
to
laws of
disrupt
the government.
political
That's
system?
literally a political statement. Whether or not you want to disrupt the political system, it doesn't matter. That's a political statement.
Because someone makes a political statement, does that mean
if you should
that their-
abide by
their
the
whole-
laws,
their whole mission was political?
Wait. If you should abide by the laws, well, then you agree with me specifically that Trump is denying the results of the election, and that's against the law. Right?
So did
The
Hillary.
law of the land indicate. Well, okay, so you would disagree with Hillary. I'm saying, do you disagree with Trump here?
He disagreed with the results of the election. He's allowed to disagree.
He's gotten tens of millions of people to believe these lies. He's actually lying about it, okay? There's no sufficient evidence to indicate the election was stolen, right? And he's claiming there is. That's a lie.
The election probably was stolen.
Can you give me any evidence of that?
No, I can't give you evidence. But no,
It
I can't give you
probably
evidence.
was stolen, but I can't give you any evidence. That's called the trust me, bro.
No one has the evidence because it was covered up.
Trust me, bro. CISA.gov indicated it was the most secure election in recorded history. There were over 60 court cases that indicated no sufficient evidence to overturn the election, 17 of which had a federally appointed judges specifically by Trump.
Do you know what?
So either he
I want to tell you
appointed corrupt-
something. You're absolutely
either-
right. You're
either he
absolutely
appointed
right.
corrupt judges or
You're
he lost the
absolutely
election.
right. There is no amount of circumstantial evidence that could pile up that could ever make someone believe that the circumstantial evidence is true if there's no hard evidence, that people have come forth with.
Okay, so there's no hard evidence. Why do you believe that he won?
You understand? O.J. Simpson acquitted in a criminal case, found responsible in a civil case, where the burden of proof is different. But they found that there was a preponderance
of the evidence, yes, more than likely than not.
Because in a certain case that you're looking at, the legal system says you have to either look at it under a preponderance or beyond the a reasonable doubt. Right? That's why there's two different verdicts in two different types of cases.
So all you're saying is that Trump is more likely than not a sexual abuser.
It is highly.
That
If
was
you
for the
add up all
civil
the
court.
certain.
I was referencing the other courts, specifically the ones in which included the courts about the election cases.
Yeah, let me tell you this.
That was
when you
talking about
have,
essay there.
I'm not talking about essay.
Well, you were talking civil court.
I was talking about the OJ case.
Yeah, which is a civil case.
It was a civil case. It had nothing to do with essay. It was a civil case where they found that he was responsible for the deaths, and he had to pay money to the families. But in the criminal case, he was acquitted. He was acquitted of the unaliving. But in the civil case, he was found responsible for the unaliving and had to pay the family money, restitution.
I don't know what you're trying to say with this.
What I'm saying is, in one situation, you have a criminal case where he was acquitted because the rules of evidence are different than in the civil case. But there was enough evidence in the civil case to say he was responsible for the unaliving of Nicole and Ron Simpson. In the criminal case, they're saying there was a reasonable doubt that he did not unalive them, so he was acquitted. What I'm saying is, in the Trump case with the election results, there was enough circumstantial evidence that if it was on the same standards of the OJ civil case, that people would say, that's strange. This is strange that in all these swing states, when it comes late in the night with all this electronic and technological, abilities that we have, but it ran late into the night. And then all of a sudden, we can't finish counting because there's a water main break. And then all of a sudden bags show up and now, Biden's winning. He just, tens of thousands of votes.
So mail-in ballots, dude, come on. Mail-in ballots were known to go more likely to Biden. Political analysts already determined that this was likely to happen before because Trump specifically told people to vote in person, and Democrats were more likely to social distance than Republicans were.
But it was rigged.
Okay, you're saying it's rigged with no sufficient evidence.
There's enough circumstantial evidence.
No, there's not.
There's enough circumstantial evidence to give reasonable people, time to look at this and say that doesn't seem right.
No, there's not even a preponderance of the evidence that you could identify. Okay, so if you were just to critique preponderance of the evidence, saying, that's not a sufficient of enough standard, and then also use a standard that literally wouldn't even meet that, is hypocritical.
No, that's not, because it's the evidence is there regardless. But when you decide, when you determine ahead of time that regardless your man won, so I'm not looking at anything, you don't.
That's not what I'm determining. Who determined that?
I guarantee that's what you're doing, Parker.
No, I'm not.
Because if this was reversed,
I would be arguing against Democrats.
Yeah, if this was reversed and then all these and it was a close call, and then all of a sudden all these irregularities, these odd occurrences, and all the swing states happened where they had to
indicate that the election was stolen, I still would say that there was no sufficient evidence. Similarly,
but if it all switched the other way,
similarly with the Russia situation,
Russia situation.
Let me explain. With the Russia situation, in terms of what Hillary was claiming with 2016, right? I disagree with that, right? I don't think there was sufficient evidence to indicate that Russian collusion would have enough evidence to overturn the election. Okay? Did they?
And then what happened with her? That whole thing, that whole dossier ended up being a lie.
Let me finish, dude. Is it the case that they tried to influence the election? Yes, we have evidence of that. Did they influence it enough to overturn the election? Absolutely not. We do not have evidence of that.
How did they influence the election, Parker? How did Russia influence our election?
Yeah. So this was through this was determined in the context of the courts, right? They tried to do that through the context of social media. It was like Facebook and shit like that. So they definitely tried to, but they didn't have enough of an impact to overturn the election.
And the whole dossier, that whole Russian collusion thing, ended up being found to be a hoax. It was a made up lie.
Hey,
how come the people that put that? What?
Holy fuck, this tells me you're not listening to me at all, dude. I just said they didn't have enough evidence to indicate Russian collusion, between
I heard that.
Trump and between Russia, but they had enough evidence to substantiate that Russia tried.
But the whole report that Hillary came up with was found to be totally a hoax.
It wasn't Hillary. It was the Mueller report.
The Mueller report
Trump
was a hoax.
obstructed justice in the Mueller report and wasn't even charged for it because you had presidential immunity.
And I guess that's how Biden's going to get away with his crimes.
Again, as it relates to that, no. Outside the context of presidential immunity, he didn't demonstrate a willful intent to retain. Similarly, Mike Pence had classified documents, but he didn't demonstrate a willful intent to retain. The reason why Trump is being charged is because he demonstrated a willful intent to retain.
And he disclassified the documents. He declassified,
he said
which he had the right to do.
He said he would have declassified them if he could have. We have him on tape saying that, dude.
And the report on Biden did not say that there was no willful intent. They said they not going to charge him because he's incompetent to stand trial.
No, they said they could not demonstrate a willful intent to retain because he was a well-meaning old man with a foggy memory, right? You could say that I have a foggy memory. You could say that Trump has a foggy memory, especially when Trump mistook E. Jean Carroll for his ex-wife. That's a pretty big foggy memory.
Biden's intent is gone because he's an old man with a foggy memory.
Yeah, that's literally why what they said the court might likely say. That's what they said in the special counsel report.
So
He actually
what they
fucking
said
read
was,
anything.
so what they said was the court would probably determine that. So they weren't going to bother filing charges. They
No.
should have filed the charges and let the court make the decision and not try to speak for the court.
Again, you can file charges, right? This is independent of that. This is just what the special counsel report was.
What they said was,
and they said
that
no
he-
willful intent multiple times. So
because he's old.
Because he's an elderly man who's well-meaning and has a foggy memory, like you could say Trump does. Trump mistook E. Jean Carroll, the person who was proven to have sexually abused, with his ex-wife. So either he has a foggy memory or he was purposefully manipulating you.
Either way, if there's a criminal case on Trump that's, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I got two different thoughts in my head. I'm sorry. I'm an old man. But if there's a criminal case on Trump and they have evidence, let them convict him. But they don't have it.
I'm not talking criminal case right now. I'm just talking about civil cases and.
But here's something, and I might just leave.
And if
on
you're
this
talking about a
thought.
criminal case, they are going to put him in. They are going to go through the trial here pretty soon. It's the next few months. It's going to be trial time.
We'll see what happens. But listen,
I can't
listen
wait.
to this.
Can't wait. I'm going to get my
Listen-
popcorn. Can't wait for trial
listen to
time.
this. AOC, Pelosi, Maxine Waters, can't remember her full name, Jackson Lee. I can't remember her first name, but all these people, as soon as the news came out the next day, the next other day, this is the 2016, that Trump won. This was before the inauguration. Might have been right. It was sometime before the election. It's between the election and inauguration. They come out saying, we're going to impeach this man. Because they were so pissed that he won and Hillary didn't win. We're going to
Give me evidence that they said impeach right away.
Google it. It's on there.
Okay, just Google it. You're wrong.
They said it. I actually
Wait,
saw
just
them
Google
say
it. They didn't say it.
They did say it. I saw it.
Just Google it. They didn't say it. I saw it.
I saw it. They said it. We're going to impeach him.
Yeah, they said that we're going to impeach him like years later. Okay.
No, dude. It was after the election, before the inauguration.
Okay, can you show me any evidence?
I
Wait,
can't.
actually, I have a question. How would AOC
Yeah.
have done that if she wasn't even fucking elected at the time?
Maybe it wasn't her. It was definitely the Maxine Waters and the Jackson Lee lady.
I can't, bro. I can't. You don't even know what you're talking about. Give me a source, bro.
Dude, I'm on my phone in a parking lot. I can't get you a source.
All right, well then go look for a source, and I'll look for you in the guest box.
Peace.
Did he just get removed for community guidelines, or I don't know if that was just said at the top. I'm not sure because I've removed him. But yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello. All right, let's try the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. Y'all, if you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App in the bio. As well, everyone, if you make sure to follow me if you haven't already. We're going to be on this until the 15th, everyone, because we are banned on the main account for a week. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 47.
For sure. Will you vote for Trump in 2024?
Yeah, I
Why
will.
so?
Because I'm better off. I was better off under Trump than I am under Biden economically. In my industry, it's been decimated with layoffs. I don't think Biden has all to do with that, but his policies are not.